It's Lynn and Michelle.
The sisters from Brothers.
And our marketing folks told us we need one of those subliminal ads. But that stuff doesn't work.
Yes, it does. Brothers.
What's more convincing is how long we've served Denver homeowners, whether it's plumbing, heating, or electric.
Brothers.
So if you hear voices,
Brothers, brothers, brothers.
it's just brothers telling it like it is.
Call 303-451-5057. Brothers Plumbing, Heating, and Electric.
BrothersPlumbing.com.
Rockies fans, there's only 1 week left of regular season baseball. So get down to Coors Field and be a part of the playoff push. The Rockies take on the Marlins September 25th through the 27th, followed by the Dodgers September 29th through October 1st. Get your tickets at Rockies.com today.
With the weather changing along with the leaves, what better time to clean those carpets than now? You want to make sure they're properly cleaned and sanitized. So call Zero Res Carpet Cleaning to have your carpets cleaned with their empowered water. No soaps, detergents, or harsh toxic chemicals with Zero Res. Zero Res is eco-friendly and safe for your kids and pets. Call now. Mention the 630 KHOW fall offer and get 3 rooms pre-treated, cleaned, and sanitized for just $119. Call 303-471-5150 or online at ZeroResDenver.com.
Hi, it's Dave Logan for my dentist, Willow Creek Dental. If you're intimidated by dentists, visit Willow Creek Dental. They took the time to make sure I was comfortable, and it was the most thorough checkup I've had. Schedule a new patient appointment this month, mention my name, and receive a free Sonicare toothbrush. Dial pound 250 on your cell phone and say the keyword Willow Creek. That's pound 250, keyword Willow Creek. You'll have the option of receiving a one-time text from KHOW. Make my dentist, Willow Creek Dental, your dentist.
I've wasted hundreds of dollars on hair products that just don't work, but I finally found a hot product for a cool price. Hey, it's Angie, the producer, and I'm talking about Ovation Cell Therapy. I thought I was doomed to have boring flat hair my whole life until Ovation gave me the hair I've always wanted. It's thicker, stronger, and healthier than it's ever been since I started using it. Cell Therapy by Ovation is that third bottle you've been missing in the shower. Get the full 3-bottle system for best results, or you can start with just the cell therapy between your own shampoo and conditioner. Try it now with a cool 15% off. No minimum, no restrictions, and guaranteed. That's everything from volumizing products to moisturizing.
Is it on the back of your phone, or is that just your cover?
15%
Oh, it's just my
off
cover.
all of it. This deal ends soon, so hurry to ovationhair.com today and select
So just let you know, it went down, how to bring it back up.
What's that?
There's the video.
Oh.
Streaming went yellow.
Cancellation.
And Ovation guaranteed or your money back. It works that well.
This Saturday, America's Wealth Management Show will air at noon for must-have retirement strategies and the pitfalls to avoid. Tune into America's Wealth Management Show this Saturday at noon on 630 KHOW. Visit lifecertain.com to discover the necessary financial planning for retirement.
One of the unfortunate homeowners who did home improvements without visiting the giant buy and build warehouse.
I don't see anything where it says
Had gone to buy and build at
25% or whatever.
Neither do I.
You would have saved a ton on cabinets, countertops, flooring of all kinds.
Look closely.
Oh, wait. Owner shall pay Elite Construction 30% of the contract price or $1,000, whichever is greater.
For what reason?
303-295-6022.
It says thereafter, if owner cancels this contract prior to commencement of the work, owner shall pay Elite Construction 30%
We need to call Elite
of the
Construction.
contract price.
We need to call Elite.
I'm Tom Martino, your troubleshooter. Joseph A. Lazara is a criminal defense attorney. You hear me say this all the time. I hope you never need him. There are so many attorneys I hope you never need. Our personal injury, our bankruptcy, all of those. But Joe, definitely, listen, if you're accused of a crime, it can happen. We've had people accused of shoplifting. They call, they don't know what to do. It was a mistake. It was inadvertent, whatever. Or drinking and driving. That's probably one that is so preventable. I mean, just, you know, there's so many ways to get home now without driving. So Joe Lazara is there for you. I just want you to know something. He is, the hallmark of Joe is communication and being with you and supporting you and letting you know what's going on, when it's going on. That's the really important thing about an attorney, especially when you're going through this stress. So don't shop when you're under stress. Just remember the name Joe Lazara. I hope you never need him. 303-429-6200. 303-429-6200. Lazara is on my referral list at referrallist.com. So we got this contract from Claudia, and I don't see anything near $80,000. It says $28,000. So Claudia, why did you say it's $80,000? That's my first question.
That is $80,000 is the supplemental that Elite already turned into my insurance company.
Wait a minute. Where? Okay, they already turned it in. Did you?
Yes.
You didn't give them any money yet, right?
Not a penny.
All right. Now your insurance approved the $28,000, right?
No. 14 something.
So your insurance didn't even agree with the first contract. Why did you sign a contract if your insurance didn't agree to it?
I had to sign this contract prior to my adjuster coming out.
There is something in the law, though, in Colorado about if the insurance doesn't cover it, something about being held to the contract. There's something I'm recalling about insurance. But listen, you did everything backwards. You didn't have to sign anything, Claudia. You didn't have to sign it before. What do you mean you had to sign it before your insurance company came? Who told you that?
No, Elite. If Elite was to go through with my insurance company,
then I would have said I don't want you. I'll get someone else. But here's the deal: it's too late. But one thing for sure is you signed a contract before you even had approval. I mean, you signed for $28,000, and your insurance is only going to pay for $14,000. You do need to get a public adjuster out there to do some real work. I mean, I can't believe they came up with another $80,000. Is that 80 in addition to this or 60 in addition to this?
60 in addition to this, of which my insurance company said I have to pay.
Well, of course, if it's not damage or if it's not legit, of course you do. Of course you do. But what about this? Will they pay the 28?
No.
Why has it been 4 months, too? Why didn't they start the roof or anything else?
We got to call Elite Construction and get their view on this. And why didn't you send me the supplemental claim?
Oh, I can do that.
Well, of course. That's the whole idea. I want to see what they're charging $80,000 for.
Make sure they haven't delivered anything. I mean, there's nothing there, right?
Have they done any work whatsoever, Claudia, at all? Anything?
No. The only thing they have done is taken pictures.
Okay.
I'm going to go call them.
Okay. We need to talk to Elite. I need to know where they came up with $80,000. And then, you know, and these companies, I'm just telling you something. These penalty clauses are ridiculous and stupid. You should never sign ever until you know exactly where you stand with your insurance, because you're going to be responsible for paying. Chris, what's going on, Chris?
Tom, apropos of our conversation on cell phones, do you remember, did the Troubleshooter network or did you personally ever have like one of those Nextel phones with the walkie-talkies on them?
No, but I've seen them. I liked them at one time.
Yeah, do you know why they went away? Because I understand, like, in a power outage, like, because they ran off the IDEN network, you could just use it kind of like a ham radio, because it was like they just bounce off each other.
I have no idea why they went away. Nextel, it was really just for companies that had two-way radios. They replaced them with these phones, so they would be direct communication when you wanted them to be, or they would be cell phones. I don't know. I guess what happened was time got so cheap, Chris, that it didn't matter. It used to be you paid by the minute and you would try to keep your minutes down. Do you remember when you were limited to minutes? So you had to keep your minutes down. So Nextel would provide that two-way option, which wouldn't eat away your minutes. So I'm sure that's probably what it is. We have a Social Security question. Dave, what is it, Dave?
Mr. Martino, how you doing this morning?
I'm doing all right, sir. Thank you for calling. What's going on with Social Security?
Hey, I got a friend that's in jail, prison right now. He's got 5 years. Social Security came to an end.
What do you mean Social Security came to an end, sir? What do you mean by that?
When you go to jail, they stop it. It's automatically stopped.
Oh, I didn't know that. Did he have Social Security disability or Social Security regular?
Regular. She's 77 years old.
Wow, I didn't know that. I didn't know they stopped Social Security.
Yeah.
Okay.
My question was, is that with back payment when he gets out? When he gets out?
I don't think so. No. What they're saying is we're supporting you in prison. We're not going to support you twice.
I wonder if he was married, if there would be spousal benefits still.
You know what? I never knew this, Chris. I never knew that they stop your payment.
Yeah.
But, okay, hold on. So, are you sure they're stopping and they're not just sending it directly to the prison?
No, it stopped. It stopped. And my question was, do they get that back reimbursement when they get out? Like, doing a year, a year.
That's a curious question. I mean, he saved his whole life. I mean, that's his retirement. Why wouldn't he get it?
Because
I know one time that you had a lady on here saying, remember that she went to prison for 12 years and her daughter spent her money, Social Security? And I said, wow, wait a minute. That doesn't make any sense. I heard it came to a stop. I checked it on the internet, and it says, yeah, it comes to a stop automatically. Damn, it stopped.
Well, I know for sure, well, I shouldn't say this for sure, but if it comes to a stop, I seriously doubt they accumulate it for you.
Another question, Tom, I'm going to buy Rockies. What's going on with their car flow? They've only got one line of cars.
Oh, you mean with their inventory?
Yeah.
Well, because they sell a bunch of them. I mean, and they're always getting new ones in. Now, when did you go there?
This last week, over the weekend, we drove by, and I said, wow, then you got no cars, really. Just one line.
Just one line. They usually have a whole lot full.
No, they don't.
Do me a favor, Daff, if you could you call Sergio over at Rockies and ask him about inventory? They usually get big lots of, and I say lots, meaning, you know, lots of cars at a time, a volume at a time, and we'll check it out, okay, if you want to listen. And Dave, as far as Social Security goes, you're right, older prisoners do not get Social Security. But it says something about if you're eligible for something, they send it to the prison, I think. I got to read it. I can't read it while I'm on the air, but anyway, we'll talk about it. On Rockies, though, it's really interesting. They told me used cars are really tough to come by now. All of that cash for clunkers years ago is coming back to haunt us. Do you remember when they paid to destroy those cars?
Oh, yeah.
That's one thing. Plus, during the recession, for several months at a time, manufacturers stopped making cars. So that slowed inventory. So all of this cumulatively, and now with all of the cars destroyed, a lot of the wholesalers are sending the cars directly to Houston or to Texas and to Florida because people need cars to replace immediately. So a lot of the inventory is going south and they're getting more money. So that is a big challenge that a lot of the car dealers are getting. But I trust you, trust me when I say, if they can get them, Rockies will get them, because they have a huge selection, usually, of used cars, trucks, SUVs, and vans. And remember, they have 40 lenders to choose from to originate the loans right there and get them approved 100% before you leave. We'll check with them right now on the status of their inventory, but I assure you that any shortage of inventory is temporary, and you should check back there often when you go to Rockies, because their inventory can change from day to day. They're open Monday through Monday through Saturday, I'm saying. They only take Sunday off. So it's Monday through Saturday, 9 to 8 at 63rd and Federal. So if you have any questions for them directly, 303-426-4646.
This report is brought to you by Xperia.
If you've got some late morning errands to run across
town, now's a good time to
and good used cars.
It's hard. The city can no delays on any of the major freeways.
Is there what's the password for the yes?
On the highways at this time. 225 looking good in the
wrong.
470 in Highland Bridge. Trouble-free on I-270 looking good in Commerce City as well.
How do you get it on here?
Mostly sunny.
It's already connected. If you want to go to Google, you can hit. If you want to do research Google, there you just go on that.
Skies a low of 50. Right now cloudy, breezy,
right down there.
70.
Now you just type in Google and stuff. You can Google whatever you want to do. Anything, you just go back.
We're up 40% this year. It could be worse. Find out if your data is at risk. The free job email scan only lasts time.
Just kind of watch on that computer so you don't get any in your personal stuff and stuff, because then you got to go in there and just make sure it's
okay. Commercials about this, because if you're an addict, you're not going to listen. I hope you would.
30% penalty, that's pretty darn big, isn't it?
That's huge. We don't have any kind of penalty for rescinding a contract.
The thing about it that said on there, and I highlighted for Mark there, it said this contracts are contingent on the insurance company paying for this month. So if they don't pay for it, there's no penalty, correct?
Yeah.
Or there wouldn't be a limited contract.
We've talked about having a penalty because a lot of times we go to bat for a customer.
Yes,
and,
I agree.
You know, they waste our time once they get a supplement.
And I think there should be something like that. And I don't see anything. It's just that if you do it on a percentage-wise, but I mean, yeah, if you start doing that, and then all of a sudden somebody comes in and says, "Oh yeah, we can do it for such and such."
Yeah.
You know, I totally agree. There should be.
Yeah.
But 30%,
30% is huge.
You know, especially if they're an insurance company is going to pay this.
Well, the thing that, like, from a consumer standpoint, the thing we have to understand is that when we charge that penalty, someone's not going to get certain work done on their house, right? You charge $28,000 as a penalty or whatever they were saying. What work is this poor lady going to not get done on her house? And for what? Because you feel you're justified to a percentage of it?
Right.
For 4 hours of work? It's insane.
Right. No, and that there's some more to this.
Yeah, there's got to be.
And why does Tom say, you know, that he wants to collect, that you should collect? Tom, why do you always say that you should sign a contract before you get the insurance adjustment?
I said you don't. I said
not
to. I said
well, I mean,
do not.
No, I mean that you should. You shouldn't sign a contract before the insurance adjustment.
That's right.
Right.
You at least know, because a lot of people assume that if they sign a contract, it's all going to be covered, but they're responsible for anything that's not.
We always do it for insurance proceeds, whatever we can get from the insurance.
Yeah. You know, between you and I mean, it's not between you and me. I say it all the time. I don't like contracts like that. I like you to put your price down of what it's going to cost, and then.
But the problem with that is this: if we go too low, then and the insurance, well, say if we're too high, or if the insurance company doesn't pay that.
Well, then you can say to the owner, "We'll knock this off the price." See, here's what I like, Dave. I like consumers to know what they need. Okay, here's what happens too much if you say insurance.
We can always tell them what they need.
Well, if you say for insurance proceeds, okay, and the insurance guy comes out, and let's say in reality they need A, B, C, and D. They just need A, B, C, and D. Okay, includes flashing lights. Okay, the insurance company, and they say to the homeowner, whatever the insurance company pays. The insurance company comes out and says, we're not going to pay for B and C. They're just going to get A and D. Okay, between you and the adjuster, you say, okay, no problem. Okay, the consumer never knows what they're not getting or what you made a deal with. I'm not talking about you. I'm talking about the roofer. And it happens too much because the roofer wants the job and they're saying, frick it, then we'll just do it. Whereas if you have a roofer who does a full contract, you need this, 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 and this. And then the insurance comes back and says, we're not paying for this and this. The consumer has the opportunity to fight that, to go to the appraisal process or to insist on it. Or they have the ability to negotiate with the roofer. Or you guys can always say, we'll just throw it in. But being blind and just saying, whatever insurance does, we'll take care of it. That's between you and the insurance guy, and the consumer's left out of it. And personally, I don't like that. I don't like that with, I'm talking about with the industry. I'm not talking about individuals. I can trust you. I can trust Jay. But what if they don't go to you?
Yeah.
Hi, Tom Martino, your troubleshooter. 303-713-TALK, 713-8255. Listen, the one thing that really I want to stress about contracts with roofers is that Claudia signed before she knew how much she was going to get. If you have an unethical roofer and you sign a contract for $100,000, you can't assume your insurance is going to pay $100,000. They might only pay $50,000. I mean, she's stuck. Elite signed a contract with her, and her insurance says we're not paying it. What do you do then? You got a contract, right? You have a contract. You agreed to pay that. It doesn't say you agreed to pay it only if your insurance pays you. It doesn't say that. It's like when people go buy a car. They go buy a car, and they assume they're going to get a loan. So they say on the deal, when they go to buy it, $50,000, right? On or before a certain date, if it's not a finance deal at the dealer. If you get turned down for a loan, that deal, you still owe the money. You have to protect yourself and make sure your insurance is in sync with what the roofer says you need, because if not, you could end up with a big bill on your hands. How could there be such a big gap? I mean, on the original one, Dave, on the original estimate, they said 28 grand, and insurance said we're only paying 14. I don't know. We don't know. I mean, she might need a $28,000 roof, right? She might need it. And it might be that she only has maybe actual cash value and roof coverage. I don't know. What do you think?
I don't know either. I have to see more of the information.
I mean, have you ever had a gap like that?
Not that I can think of.
What's the biggest gap you might come up against?
This is Michael.
Michael, with Petrolli. You're a field supervisor.
Yeah, I think we've gone from 12,000 to 40,000, but generally that's when you involve.
But that's supplemental claims.
Right.
Yeah, but that's with approval of the insurance.
Right.
No, I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about how often have you said a roof's going to cost this much, and the insurance company is off by 50%. I mean, that doesn't happen that often, does it?
There are a couple of insurance companies.
Okay. Because
I mean, keep in mind their customer really is their stockholder.
Right, because they're trying to screw the. I understand that. So then you guys have to advocate for the consumer at that point, right?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Okay. So let's just take the initial contract, 28,000 from Elite, saying it's 28 grand, and her insurance is only saying 14. Now, that could be an actual cash value policy. You know, there are a lot of those right now. They're not replacement. That could be. It could be that the roofer's exaggerating. It could be, as you guys said, it's a stingy insurance company. That happens. I mean, it really does. All right, we have so much to talk about. And I want to just bring up Drain Genius. These guys are bad news. Drain Genius. In fact, I think, Daphne, you need to get together with me, and we need to get these guys on the Sleaze Brigade. And also, Dan, we need to get together for Denver custom food trucks on there. I mean, it's really, we really need to get them out there so people can see them all the time. Daphne, how much did they take?
$12,500, and they dug a little hole and cut down a fence that really didn't even need to be cut down.
Did you talk to Dwight Sweeney?
I talk to Dwight almost every other day, and he guarantees me, oh, we're going to give him back the money. The money's gone. But
okay,
nothing.
I want to follow this up next hour. Drain Genius, avoid them like the plague, and we'll talk about more coming up.
What'd they do there?
They took $12,500 for a drain replacement, you know, and they never came back. Just cannot tell you how many times this happens. I am so distraught about stuff like this. It's just every day, every single day I hear about this. It's probably one of the worst I've seen.
Do you still want me up here for Drain Genius? Or?
No, I can just hammer them.
Dude, please.
You know, have you tried calling him again yesterday or today?
I talk to him all the time. But he said, oh, this gal is taking care of and she never answers the phone, and it's his phone number. She's a made-up, fictitious character that he just is trying to just say, oh, yeah. Yeah, but he doesn't understand that money that he took, he's like, oh, the other, my subcontractors haven't paid me. Subcontracting does nothing.
No, but it doesn't matter.
You're not, yeah.
He got paid that money. Where did it go?
Yeah, he wasn't supposed to, yeah, exactly. Where did it go? And so he just, but he's like, oh, we're trying to figure it out. We're going to give him the money. Never does. He said, oh, I'm going to call him. Never does. He just lies.
The United Nations, it's far past time for the world to confront North Korea and Kim Jong-un. Weapons program. He says the United States has great strength.
Just like Denver custom food trucks.
Not good. We will have no choice but to totally destroy North Korea.
We had a customer the other day. Yes, we had.
Suzanne can probably call him and get him up. Ask him if he'll be on the show. I'll tell her to do that. Can you write down the phone number for me?
Charged with the murders of a homeless man and a dishwasher in Baton Rouge, Louisiana. They were black. Lieutenant James Reason's wife, 23 years old, also now lead by police, a shot fired on the home of an African-American family in his neighborhood before those fatal shootings. Fox News, we report, you decide.
For many businesses, hiring is tough. You want access to highly qualified candidates fast. And you don't want to sign a long-term contract or pay upfront fees.
Sorry about that.
That's why you need to come. delivering 6 times more hires than any other job site, according to independent research. Indeed is offering new users a $50 credit to give their first job post premium visibility as a sponsored job. Redeem this offer at Indeed.com/credit. That's Indeed.com/credit. Terms, conditions, and quality standards apply.
Getting your flu shot at Walgreens is easier than ever. Just walk right in, and there's no cost to you with a $0 copay with most insurance. Plus, when you get a flu shot, you help provide a life-saving vaccine to a child in need through the UN Foundation. Swing by your local Walgreens anytime to get a flu shot and help make a difference. Get a shot, give a shot. It's that easy. Walgreens, at the corner of happy and healthy. Through August 31st, 2018, for every immunization given, Walgreens will donate 22 cents up to $2 million. Vaccine restrictions apply. Talk to your pharmacist.
This is brought to you by Xperia. Mostly sunny today with a high of 87. Tonight mostly clear and a low around 50. Tomorrow sunny and a high near 80. And then Thursday sunny with a high of 87.
Last year, corporate data breaches were up 40%. This year, it could be worse. Find out if your data is at risk with a free dark web email scan, only from Experian. In less than a minute, you'll know if your identity is at risk. Go to Experian.com/scan to help keep your identity yours with Experian.
You've heard me talk about Art of Granite because I just love the way Mitch Floria, the owner, does business. He came to this country in the early 2000s with $300 and decided he wanted to be in the granite business. So he started Art of Granite.
There's no big storms down in Colorado Springs this year, correct?
That the one.
I mean, there's like
No,
the one up here in
no,
we had one last year. And that was the wind last year. It was good wind too. But that one last year was like July 28th. So that's already passed as far as
Was it September or October the wind came through?
Yes. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, but most of that's gone. You know, we'll still go through neighborhoods, and there's still houses that aren't replaced. And maybe people assume they didn't have damage, or they got scared by the number of contractors that were coming through.
Maybe they still have checks that they haven't
They might,
pursued any roofing.
Well, but they didn't turn it in. It's too late, right?
You know, there is some leniency. Generally, it's a 1-year policy, but
you can ask for an extension. But you
Man,
should.
this woman got herself into a mess from hell.
Oh,
what happened?
Let's wait till we get back.
Okay, yeah. I don't want to hear it.
But it's holy shit. We talk about people leaving stuff out.
Okay,
I still think there's an joke going on, but talk about leaving stuff out.
let me tell you,
The reason we don't talk about it off the air is because we truly want to be spontaneous. Yeah, it was dangerous. Sure. You had to know.
the old two sides to every story. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
So what about Social Security in prison?
I never heard of that either.
It makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah, but what about regular people?
What do you mean?
Regular people in prison?
That don't get Social Security. In other words, they don't ding them.
Yeah, but it's,
Although you can receive monthly Social Security while you're incarcerated, benefits to your spouse and children will continue.
okay.
If you're receiving Social Security, will be suspended. Your payments can be reinstated when you're released.
So they just tack on how long you'll be able to receive payments?
No.
Oh no, Social Security.
Well, first of all, it goes down.
Yeah.
I wonder about military pensions. Say you had a military pension, you went to jail. Would they stop that? It's all government, right?
Changes everything. For timeshare no longer happens in life. Go to timeshareexit.com. If you're looking for an amazing opportunity to run a recession-proof business,
Can you put out anything about the Experian fiasco?
Amazing Lash Studio is based
What that
Equifax.
Yeah. Or Equifax, I'm sorry. Yeah.
What's it, Equifax?
Yeah.
Oh, I don't know why I thought it was.
I thought it was Experian, but
Experian, there's 3 of them. Experian, True, what is it, True, and Equifax was
was the breach. Yeah.
and their average guest will
Should people opt in? I've heard different things about whether people should opt into their
Studio is leading the charge.
their protection
in a lot, and in the beginning, you were excluded
from civil action or something.
Your actions.
Which is crazy, right?
Yeah, I mean, you get really hurt. Yeah. You may want to, right? I need to do credit reasons. I just.
Oh, you didn't do it?
I did it during the show, remember?
I'll just do it. I'll just see if I can do it for the show.
Equifax actually went up the last 2 days.
Mark, where do I go first for that freeze? You go to either one of them.
Let me try to find
You've got to go to each one.
Now, Tom Martino, the Troubleshooter.
Hi, Tom Martino here. Welcome to the only show of its kind anywhere in the universe. We are fighting for you at 303-713-TALK, 303-713-8255. That's it. I've been giving that number out for so many years. Also, 303-MARTINO, 303-627-8466. I tried to calculate one day the number of phone calls I've taken, and it came to something like 379,000. And I was calculating how many hours a day I was on for nearly, well, you know, I say nearly 40. Actually, it's over 40 if you count before I got to Denver. I was doing radio. So really, you know, I was about 21, and I'm 63, so that's a long time in the business, right? You know, 60, or I'm 64, damn it. Did I say 63? 64 minus 21, that's 43 years. So, anyway, and so listen, folks, if you need help, you just call. And we have the experience to get the people we need to help you if we can't help you directly. One of the biggest things we do here, though, is try to prevent problems. So if you listen to the show, you may not make the same mistake. Now, we need to get that woman on who just called about Elite Construction and talk to her. She said that...
Yeah, let's get her back up.
Yeah, we will. She said that she's having all kinds of problems with Elite Construction. And then, of course, we have with us in the studio today a guest from Petrali Roofing, and we have Dave Petrali, he's the owner, and then we have Michael, his production supervisor, and we're talking about insurance and you know, claims and roofs, but not just that, whatever you want to talk about. Our ongoing problems that we have, this one I talked about just before the end of the hour is Drain Genius. This guy, Dwight Sweeney, is the owner. He just flat out took $12,500 and dug a hole and left, a little hole and left. Didn't he knock down a fence or something too? Yeah. And I don't know where these contractors get off doing this, but we're getting more and more people doing this. It's unbelievable to me. This is nothing short of theft, in my opinion. And there's even something called a Contractors Trust Act, where you take money for a job, it's supposed to be held in trust for that job. And this guy says, I don't have the money to pay it back. Can you imagine just paying someone 12 grand and not having the money? It just pisses me off that so many people are being ripped off. That's got to tell you something, people, about making down payments. That, you know, first of all, never make big down payments, never pay in full up front, never. Now, if things are custom ordered, or if you need to make a deposit for them to put a slot on the production or something, then do it to protect yourself. First of all, get everything in writing. Second of all, I would make that person take personal responsibility as well as their corporation or LLC, unless they're a big established company. I would also pay by credit card. If they will not take a credit card, then tough crap. Because I'll tell you why. You have no power otherwise. If you have to write a check and it comes out of your account and a company goes out of business or somebody dies, it may not even be intentional, you'll never get your money back. With a credit card, you have some protection. But even then, I want you to not pay too much up front and pay as you go, or pay at the end, or whatever, or do an escrow account, or do a construction management account. You have to protect yourself on some of these big projects. They're giving a guy $12,500 and then he's gone. What do you do then? Dwight Sweeney, the scumbag at Drain Genius, in my opinion, should be out of business. So let's talk to Claudia now. Claudia, she said that she got an estimate for $28,000 for her roof, and her insurance will only pay $14,000. And in addition to that, the Elite Construction not only gave her a $28,000 bid for her house, but came up with another $40,000 in a supplemental claim. So now she says that she has a contract for over $80,000, around $80,000, and she can't pay it, and they're going to charge her a cancellation fee. Okay, where does this stand, Mark? You talked to Elite. Okay.
Yes, I did.
You seem very...
sometimes I get amazed how much information is left out. Like this one. Ready? She's got 3 contracts with Elite. One on a commercial building, which is the $80,000 roof. It's one of those, it's kind of like a pad. What are those called?
You mean the flat roofs?
Yeah, it's a flat roof, but it's a membrane system.
Okay.
Okay. Then she's got her own house she signed a contract on.
For the 28 grand.
That's the one we're looking at.
Yeah.
And then she's got another contract with them for her mother's house.
Claudia, did it ever occur to you to tell us that?
There's no contract on the building. There is no, I signed nothing on the building.
But isn't that the 80? But wait, didn't it ever occur to you? I asked you, Claudia, I asked you plain, how do they go from $28,000 to 80? And you said you had no idea. You never mentioned any other real estate ever.
Because there's no other real estate involved.
Did you think that $80,000 was for repairs on your house?
Yes, and I have forwarded the.
She hasn't spoke to him either for 6 or 8 weeks.
Okay, so they have 3 contracts. That $80,000, I mean that 40-something thousand is for the commercial.
The 80's for the commercial.
Or the 40-something because there's 28 there.
No, there was no contract signed with the 80.
I'm not talking about a contract. I'm talking about pricing. The only thing that you sent me here was a contract for $28,000. I'm not talking about a contract. You said that they want $80,000 and you led us to believe it was on your house.
It is, and I have fast forward to your company.
Her house is 28.
Okay. Now,
her mother's house is, I think, around 20, and then the commercial building is 80-something.
No!
And they want 7... The reason they're asking for $7,000 on her house to get out of the contract is that's 30% of roughly the $28,000, what the insurance company has approved.
Okay. So, she said they didn't approve the $28,000.
That is approved.
Okay. So, Claudia, I'm going to have to verify things. Listen, Claudia, I'm listening to you. Okay, I heard you. But whether they are saying, they're acknowledging that you only would have to pay a penalty for your house because the other 2 contracts probably weren't signed. I don't know.
They're not saying that.
Okay, were they? Because she's saying she never signed a contract on her commercial building.
You know, I'm curious. I asked.
But still, Claudia, it's still a little deceiving to make us believe they came up with 80 grand on your house.
I have forwarded paperwork to you on the house.
I'll listen to you. You don't have to get upset. I'll listen to you, okay? It's just that Mark called them, and we're obligated.
Yeah, they just got a completely different store.
Right. So,
and we had no idea anything about a commercial building.
I didn't call on any commercial building or anything else. I called on my house.
Okay,
and I have
so
sent
Claudia,
paperwork
maybe
on
they're
my house.
confused.
Claudia, did they ever? First of all, do you own a commercial building?
Do I? No.
So you don't even have a commercial building?
No, it's not mine.
Well,
my parents.
Okay, stop playing games with me. Then this commercial building, did Elite Construction look at the building?
They did come and look at the building.
Okay, then don't just please, let's just try to clear this up. If they looked at the building, did they come up with a price for that building?
I have no paperwork on the building from them. No.
Okay. What they sent to your insurance company that totaled $80,000, that was for your residence?
Yes.
Okay.
I have forwarded all that.
I'll just look through it.
Then you'll hold on, and we'll wait and get that information. Okay? Just hold, or we can call her back. I am getting so confused. So confused. Gary, you want to expose someone who you say is a complete ripoff, right? Gary? Gary?
Yep.
Bud, are you there, sir? Yeah, I'm sorry for the way. You wanted to expose someone you said was a complete ripoff?
Yes, he worked for me as a sales manager, and when my wife was in the hospital, he got the bookkeeper to give him the money from...
How much money did he take from you?
About $50,000 from my checking account and another $50,000 for contracts.
What do you mean $50,000 for contracts? You mean he took contracts away?
He took contracts away. He had access to the company files.
But what was he doing? In the beginning, he was your general manager?
He was my sales manager.
Okay, and he's not there anymore?
No.
What kind of a business is this, sir?
A general contracting business.
All right.
We were doing roofing and siding.
All right, if you hold on, we'll come back to you, because if this guy's in business, I'm hoping you have a little proof. We're going to have to prove it. And Suzanne, we should probably call this guy and let him know that somebody is making these claims, because that's pretty darn serious. Listen, if you have an addict in your life, it's very, very important that you take action, because I'll tell you why. If it's a husband, a wife, a brother, a sister, someone you love, addiction will never, ever, ever, ever go away on its own. And if it's a small addiction, it will get big. If it's a big addiction, it will get bigger. And if it's a bigger addiction, it'll kill somebody. Now, there is no other way to look at it. I have for years been helping people who call this show, and I've been recommending places and trying to work with people. And I have to tell you that the Raleigh House was so kind to establish a line for us, because I wanted a place people could call and not be sold and not be pressured, but just be given information. So the Raleigh House, and I know the owner, I know him very well, and he started this years ago. After some personal struggles. He's a wonderful person. They have a loving staff. He established this number. So if you have questions, how do I talk to my husband? How do I talk to my niece? How do I talk to my brother? What do I do? They can help you. Everyone's different, so they'll give you tips based on your situation. They'll also answer any questions about the cost of rehab, the cost of treatment, what they do, how they do it. At the Raleigh House, it's a 90-day program. But whether you go to the Raleigh House or not, this hotline is for you. You call that line. It's just for my listener. Well, anyone can call, but they established it for me so people can call and ask all these questions about treatment. And if you want to get someone to treatment, they'll help you help them. 720-893-5559. It could be pain pills, it could be alcoholism, it could be meth, it could be cocaine, whatever it is, it will never get better on its own. 720-893-5559. There's no obligation and no cost for this call. 720-893-5559.
Read this. This report is brought to you by Lowe's. So look, they've got 25 grand here for roofing and underlayment. But hold on, then the second thing I want you to look at.
So these are upgraded shingles. That's part of the reason for the cost.
Yeah, but then we jump up to 56,000.
What's one that?
That's the total.
Is that the commercial building, bro?
Including line item here, which is the 19.
But is this a commercial or is this a house?
This looks like a commercial.
If this is her house, if this is a house, they did get it up to $80,000.
Yeah. Yeah, and I mean, we can look at the address.
It doesn't have it.
Yeah, but it is definitely a. This is what she's talking about. That's a premium shingle, which is part of the expense.
So is this the building, Mark?
No, this is a house.
It's a 50-square house, which is significantly huge, and a premium shingle. So
is this her house? Well, they said it was a commercial building, right?
That's what she said on the $80,000 one, was a commercial building.
That's what the elite said, right?
Yeah.
And then you've got $20,000 in solar. So, and then keep in mind that there's overhead and profit.
4,000. I told you solar was one.
That's an extra
20,000 for the
20% that goes on what her initial was. So
that's just the R&R. That's not even the solar panel. That's just remove and replace 20 grand.
Yeah, so that's why they've got right down here. They've got the electrical to wire it all back up.
Right.
That's a bid item that they're going to have to get an electrician in.
Do you guys, Mark, look at what was delivered to me?
Oh, wow. Who's
Do you guys want a piece of it? I'm going to cut into it and give Tom a piece.
Oh, man, that looks delicious. Yes, please.
Yeah.
I wonder what it's in the middle. Oh, it's a bundt cake.
Yeah, it's from Nothing But Bunts or Nothing But Bundt Cakes or something. Do you want a piece?
Nothing Bundt Cake.
Oh,
yeah, so I would say, I mean, we've got a shed. It looks to me, and that's what you were saying, like a little gazebo thing. That's the arbor with swing. So this is her house. She's not that far off.
What's so weird is I just talked to them. They said the commercial building's 80,000.
Yeah, so they probably weren't even looking at the file, because this is their supplement or the revised estimate that was sent to the insurance company. I mean, you got the same kind of premium shingles on. That's another $6,000 on the detached garage. I mean, that's crazy.
Well, I'd like to see the commercial estimate then.
I know, right? But I mean, you think 50 squares is a big house.
It's big, and there's a problem with the solar.
What's their address? Can you we'll Google it, see what side of the house is?
Yes. Wow. I don't know if it's.
Yeah, that should be it. It should be on the 2590.
Here, and that's why you need to call Golden Spike Roofing. If you think you have damage, call Golden Spike at 3.
Do you have that contract over there? Did you see if it's still over there?
Free inspection for roofing done right to the last nail. Call Golden Spike Roofing.
Call Golden Spike Roofing when your roof needs a fix. 303-942-1386. Golden.
They can't do right.
Where's the contract?
Just did it.
Oh, did you set it?
Did you set the contract?
I don't know. Oh.
Meanwhile, this
I just wanted to see. Yeah, it's the same. Okay.
Because usually it's the family and loved ones who recommend rehabilitation. They call the Raleigh House. We've met with these people. They are genuine from top to bottom. They absolutely have a love for people and for what they do. If you call the Raleigh House, they want to help you help get your life. It's alcohol, cocaine, heroin, ecstasy, meth. Painkillers are the biggest thing right now. Stimulants, sedatives, and even marijuana has caused problems for many. If you have a loved one who is an addict, they can help you approach them even. Here's the number for the Raleigh House, 720-893-5559, 720-893-5559, TheRaleighHouse.com, 720-893-5559.
Has the IRS emptied your bank account? Get your peace of mind back. Go to AdvancedTaxSolutions.com.
Rob Skowinski, mornings 5 to 10.
There's F Free Speech Day at Princeton while Nancy Pelosi is shouted down because she's not liberal enough. The media sees differences on the right, but the left is eating its own.
Look, they make security things easy now. Even on Experience, on the front page, it never used to be up there.
Yeah.
Never.
Some of them ask some questions, you know, like your last loan or, you know, different things like that. But.
Tom Martino here. Welcome. 303-713-TALK, 713-8255. All right. Gary's very upset with a guy. He says was his general manager. He's very upset, and I caution everyone to draw conclusions. Remember, when people call, they're accusations. We investigate. So, Gary, you say that Ron, this guy Ron, was your general manager, and you said he took $50,000 in cash. Is that right?
Yeah, he befriended the bookkeeper when my wife was in the hospital and I wasn't in the office, and he told the bookkeeper that he was now the owner of my company.
Was he ever an owner?
No, he wasn't.
Do you have a corporation?
I have a single entity LLC.
A single member? A sole member?
Yes, sole member LLC.
What's the name of your company?
The name of the company was UBA.
UBA?
UBA Dome House. UBA Dome House.
Oh, okay.
DOMEHOUSE.
Did you build dome houses?
We built the house that we're living in, and I was hoping to build more dome houses.
Okay. So, you never called us before, right?
Yes, I did call you.
You called me about your geodesic dome?
No, I didn't.
Oh, okay. I thought somebody called about a geodesic dome. That's why I asked. Okay, so you had UBA dome houses, and he was your general manager and took 50 grand. And that's that. Well, what does he say about that?
He said that he earned it through commissions.
Okay, so it wasn't like he was saying to himself, I'm going to get some money and run. He believed he earned it. He believed you owed it to him. That's a little different than just stealing money, right?
Well, he didn't have any paperwork showing that he earned that commission.
No, and I understand. I'd be upset too. Trust me. If some guy, says, "Hey, you owe me money," if Mark just wrote a check to himself, I mean, yeah, I'd be upset. Everybody would. But it's not the same though as as just taking money. So there was a dispute there. He said you owed him it. What does he say about the contracts you say he took? How did he have a non-compete?
No.
Okay.
We didn't have any agreement.
Okay.
Any formal agreement.
When you say he took contracts, what do you mean?
He had access to my files when I was out of the office, and
were you going through a hard time? Were you out a lot? Is that what was going on? You were out of the office a lot?
Yes.
How is your wife doing now, may I ask?
She is still being treated for stage 4 cancer.
Oh, my heart is with you on that one. That's a rough time. So you have to. There's a lot of stress involved here. So is your company still in business, Uba?
I had to change the name of the company because he had stolen contracts, written contracts to other homeowners, collected monies from them.
So you're saying he collected money up front under the name Uba?
No, he changed the logo on the contract.
Oh. So
but he left my information on the contract.
Oh, so you're saying they were blaming you?
No, the homeowners called me up and said that, we gave money to Ron Williams and we can't find him, and we found your name written in the contract. All
right, I see. Okay, what do you want right now? You want to expose him. What do you mean? Do you think he's going to rip people off?
Yes, I think he's going to rip people off. He's done it in Iowa, he's done it in Kansas, and he's done it in Missouri.
Ron Williams is on the line right now, Gary, the guy that you're telling me is a ripoff. Of course, we want to absolutely give everyone a chance to talk here, and I'm going to try to keep it civil here. So, Ron, I mean, these are some pretty strong accusations. First of all, on the $50,000, let's just take one thing at a time. Did you have a right in your mind to take $50,000 out of the account when Gary was gone?
Actually, he wasn't gone, and I didn't take $50,000 out of the account.
Oh, okay.
So I just let's just make a quick statement here.
Sure.
Is that we ended our business together in like 2015, and ever since then, even what is this? Middle of 2017.
Right. Yes.
He's constantly calling different people like yourself to harass me and make up stuff and all those different types of things. No, let me finish. Please let me finish.
Go ahead.
Right. And so, what was it, 2 months ago? For one of the things, we actually went to court on that. And the judge actually gave after he ended up
what did you go to court on, Ron? I'm just asking questions. I'm not trying to.
He was saying that somebody else was stealing money from him too.
Okay, so what did you go to court on though? The $50,000?
No.
Oh.
No, this is a check over like $3,000.
Okay.
And so when the court case is over and he lost the court case, the judge gave him a 5-minute basically instructing him he needs to stop harassing people. The things he does, human people do not do to other people. And he told him, if these people decide to sue you for defamation of character from all the paperwork that I have in front of me, you will lose a lot of money.
Now Gary, did a judge tell you that, Gary? Gary, did a judge tell you that?
No, the judge told me not to talk to Ron Williams or to his son.
But did he? He didn't do a court order, did he, on that, Gary?
No.
Okay, because I don't want to violate any court orders.
No.
Okay, I want to ask Ron something, because since you made some serious allegations, I really want to give him a chance to answer to this. Ron, you said you didn't take $50,000. Did you take any money in a check that you thought you were owed from commission?
No, no. As just like in this last court case.
Yeah.
We had our former secretary there.
No, really? Is he making this up about the $50,000?
Yes, he's totally making it up. He makes stuff up all the time.
Now, Gary, do you have a canceled check?
If you let me explain for just a second.
Go ahead.
When we went to this court, he spewed other stuff like this, and the secretary, even the secretary that we had, then they had her on, on the stand, and she goes, you know what? Gary really wasn't in charge of anything. Over the 6 months I've worked for him, I might have met him twice. He never authorized checks. He never really sold anything. Everything pretty went through Ron.
So Ron,
and she said that in court case, and that's kind of what this whole thing is. He's just, like I said, 2 years ago, he's calling folks like you, steals just to generally harass people because I don't know if he doesn't have a life.
But here's what I want to know. This is what I want to know. Is he? I mean, you're telling me you didn't take a penny. This is all made up. You didn't take a dime from that checking account.
No. I took just like when we were writing commissions checks and just like anything else, the secretary writes checks.
Yes.
Right? And I'm the one that authorized her to write checks.
Now, she write one to you?
Gary wasn't in charge of any of that whatsoever.
But did she write a check to you is what I'm asking?
Yes, naturally. I worked there.
Okay.
She writes checks to me. She writes checks to...
But did she write one for 50 grand?
No, she didn't write one for 50 grand.
So, Gary, I mean, did he take $50,000 or not? Or are you adding up every check he ever got for salary or whatever?
No. The money that he got from my checking account was money that the keeper withdrew via cash withdrawals, and she said that she gave the money to him.
Wait. She took out cash and said she gave the cash to him?
Yes.
Well, how do you know she's not lying?
I can probably get her on, and she would.
Wait a minute. She says she made cash withdrawals from your account and gave the money to Ron.
That's correct.
Ron, did anyone ever give you cash?
Well, like I said, and that was so nice about this last court case that we went to. You know, he just, you know, it was completely proven that he just makes up stuff constantly all the time. And he just, you know. Did
you guys have an argument? I mean, was your parting not friendly? Was it an unfriendly parting?
Well, what happened, and you know, part of what he's totally making up anyway, is we both initially used to work for a different roofing company, right? And I was the manager, I was the sales manager, and he was one of my subordinates. Well, I was getting ready to leave that company to start my own company. Right, and why I partnered with Gary, because he had the Uba Dome Homes thing that he actually never did anything with, but he was actually, you know, he actually could pull permits, and that's the big thing in Colorado. You need a general contractor's license so you can pull permits. So me and Gary decided to join together because I do the main sales.
But you're saying you guys split up. You did not steal from him.
No.
Okay.
So once his wife started having issues with her cancer and everything like that, he pretty much lost it, and right up until today, he's still lost it.
All right, I need to take this break. This is, wow. And then we want to revisit that other contract thing Mark looked at, because Elite Construction had a completely different story. Now, listen, here, the thing with Gary and Ron, as long as we have Ron's number to get back in touch with him, I'll finish up.
I don't know what to do when I have completely different stories. I'm not in this whole thing. I just want the rules with.
Would you ask that lady on hold with the lead, just say, hey, are you 100% positive you have a signed contract on the mother's house? They do not on the commercial. They already said that. On the mother.
They have two contracts.
She's saying they do not. She's saying they are, and then the caller is still on hold too. She's saying there is no contract.
Good coffee this is.
It is good.
Maybe her parents signed it. She didn't know it is her parents' house.
That I'm going to spill. He was convinced I'm going to spill.
So really, it looks like the insurance company or the roofing company was the bad.
Mark, okay, we won't.
No.
Are you puzzled by this Elite thing?
I think I got it figured out.
Okay, good.
Larson Tax, 844-LARSON.
Just from a quick glance, it doesn't look like they're that far off on their estimate.
Well, they're willing to bring them both down if they truly have a signed contract on the mother's house too. Caller's saying no. They both agree there's no contract on the commercial building.
Sure. Okay.
This is definitely the house, $80,000.
Yeah. Then why didn't they tell you that?
Well, she didn't know. She was was nervous. She was under the gun.
So is there $80,000 at that house that they
looked at it? Yeah, there could very well be 80 grand.
High-end shingles, solar replacement, solar panel replacement.
What else?
Electrical bids.
Gazebo.
2 detached garages, it looks like.
Okay.
It adds up.
But why would the insurance company?
Siding, windows.
She needs Freddie. Yeah. She does need Freddie.
Well, that's true, but they're willing right now to let her out of both of them. I'd still try to figure out if the other one's signed. $1,000 each, $2,000 total.
She should do it.
I know she should. Freddie will find the difference there.
Because I'll tell you why. Because just the work they did assessing that is worth that.
Absolutely. Yeah, they worked hard. There's no doubt about it. And the real winner is going to be the next roofer that does her roof. We can do it for her.
We'll do it for her. Okay.
Well, she needs Freddie out there first.
Yeah, well, let's get Freddie out there
Well,
first.
Freddie will definitely help to make sure that the insurance company...
Well, listen, do you work up here? Is she here?
Freddie got 28. Or, I'm sorry, the insurance company, I believe, agreed to 28 on their residents. But that's only a repair, not a replacement.
Right.
They did not agree to remove the solar panels,
Wait a
any
minute.
of that.
Wait, they agreed to 28. Now they have to go to...
The insurance company, yeah, but that's where you need Freddie to get out there and point out where the contract says you remove solar panels.
How much was the commercial building going to be?
They didn't even get into it.
How about her mom's house?
20-ish.
So they said, yes, they have a signed contract, and Mary, the mother, signed it.
For the building?
Oh, for her own house. Okay, well, that's better for them than if she signed it. Because if she signed it and wasn't even her own house, they would have had an issue.
Yeah. I'll stay $7.
I think $2,000, I hate to say it, it's fair.
It is fair. And
I
honestly,
think it's fair, too. Yeah.
It's something that she won't even have to eat necessarily.
No, I guarantee Freddie will find more. It's not even going to matter.
Right.
So she's probably already got an insurance check that she could pay that out of.
Do you have to do this 3 times, this credit freeze? You have to do it 3 times?
Equifax, TransUnion, and who's the other one? Experian. I might short them, man. I keep thinking about it, but I hate having that kind of money tied up.
Just went up the last 2 days. Not a lot. Not a lot.
What is generation mean?
What does it ask?
Junior, senior, middle.
Yeah.
Oh, are you trading in Equifax or Experian?
No, I was going to short their stock, but the problem with shorting is it literally takes up.
It's been down
so much
35%.
cash. I know. If you hit it at the beginning, it would have made 10, 15.
Even last week, it would have made.
I got out of that. What was the last one I was sweating? AMD, man. I got out.
Just went up
I
like
missed,
80%.
yeah, but then it bounced again. But yeah, I missed 30 cents.
Equifax, I had the hardest time of freezing. I had to go back 5 times.
I did too. One of them was really tough. The other ones were almost instant.
Why?
Just because so many people, I think, were doing it.
Exactly.
Did you opt into their credit?
No, I didn't. I just froze it. If you freeze it, you're good. They can't do anything.
Yeah.
The only thing is, if you apply for a credit card or a loan, whatever, now you got to go and unfreeze it. Well, I don't plan on doing
Did you want
anything.
more? Because I put it out for the news. The cake.
No, I had something.
Okay.
Tell them only 1 piece.
I need Martin's number. Send me Martin's, because whatever I have for him is completely wrong.
This came that I didn't. That was a third email. That's the 80,000 I got. I will send you
Another email.
Martin's number.
Do you have a second copy? Can I feel it?
Is this me?
Hi, Tom Martino here. All right, we are going to revisit that other contract with Claudia. But
We're ready when you are.
I want to finish up with Gary quickly. Gary, you know, you made some serious accusations against Ron, and I think that you guys probably did have a business and a parting, and maybe you didn't agree with the money he took on, and he admits that money was written to him for stuff, just like everyone in the company, that the woman wrote checks and he authorized them and he was helping run the company, and that he...
No, he never authorized checks. He never had...
Okay, but this is... I'm just saying, this is what he says, and he's saying that this... You have tried to sue people and been unsuccessful, and it's been years now, and he just basically is saying there's no credence to your accusations. So, I mean, that's what he's saying. He's saying that the money he did get from the company was money earned. And I think you're going to have an impossible time trying to prove that any money he took was ill-gotten. I just think you're going to have an impossible time.
It sounds like he already tried that in court.
No, he didn't sue Ron.
Oh.
You didn't sue Ron in court, right?
No, I have paperwork into the DA's office.
Okay, well then the DA, if he sees that there's theft, but trust me when I tell you this, the district attorney is not going to take an internal theft problem if someone had any kind of authority at all. I know that from personal experience.
Authority.
Well,
he had no authority over the checking account.
Well, I'm not saying authority, meaning that, okay, all right. So, you said $50,000 was taken, at least,
yes.
when you added up all of the withdrawals, right? Okay.
Yes.
Well, obviously, he is saying any money he did get, and I just want to go one item at a time. I don't want to really, because we're not going to obviously settle this now, but I want to try to give you some advice. I know, I want to try to give you some advice on where to go. Hey, Ron, really quickly here, just if you could be so kind as one thing at a time. So any money you did get from the company, you're saying, was money that you earned, right? Or did he go? Did he go? He might have. It's okay. It's okay if he left, because really, you know, I mean, he did have his say. So the money, now the other thing you said about Ron is that he took customers. That is not going to be any damages that you can collect from. Anybody can do anything they want when they leave a company, unless you specifically have something in writing, okay? I imagine everybody has experienced this. I bet you did, Dave Petrali. I'll bet you have had people that worked for you that left and pursued customers that they were working, right?
Absolutely.
Everyone. Mark, you probably had that happen.
Oh, God, yes.
Yes. Okay, so there's nothing you can do about that. And about the money taken, the problem with the money taken, Gary, is it's going to be difficult to show intent and the fact that he took it, because you said they were cash withdrawals that this woman took.
Yes.
Okay, well,
the bookkeeper took the cash out of the...
Well, how do you know the bookkeeper didn't take the money, though? That's the thing. You don't know, Gary. You're choosing to believe her.
Yeah, I'm choosing to believe her because I believe that she doesn't have a record. Ron has a record of stealing money from people.
Well, hold on now. I want to... Listen, if Ron's listening... Ron, you're welcome to call in and refute anything you want. We're going to go back to you. But, Gary, listen, I want to sew it up by saying this. At a time like this, with your wife battling stage 4 cancer, I don't think you should be jousting with windmills at this point. I don't think this is a battle you're going to win. And, of course, you didn't call to win. You called because you said you wanted to expose him.
Yeah, because we lost our insurance because I didn't have the money because of the money that he had taken from our account, from my operating expenses. So
but right now,
out of my operating expenses, I wasn't able to pay my insurance.
One of the best things you can do, one of the best things you can do to your enemies is succeed and live well and prosper.
Okay. Well, I would like to succeed by exposing this guy, getting him thrown in jail.
Well, I don't think you're going to get... I don't think...
Victims in Iowa, victims in Kansas, victims in Missouri.
Well, if you give us specifics, okay. If you give us specifics, Gary, if you, I'm gonna put you on hold. If you can give us specifics, we will, honest to goodness, look in the other states and everywhere you tell us. Okay, I will, but you have to give us specifics, not just I heard that he took money. These cases almost never go anywhere, Gary. I know that you're feeling a lot of anger. Mark and I both have been directly ripped off by people who worked with us. Directly. Okay? Now, some were insidious, some were just sneaky, and it wasn't really thievery. It was just, you know, what they did. And others were outright... Mark had an outright case where he sent someone to jail. Mark, you recall that.
Gary Pappas.
You still mention his name.
Oh, God, I'll never forget him, man. It took me for about $250,000, man.
But you know what Gary feels like if what he's saying is true. But you can almost... you were lucky, Mark. I don't know how you proved it.
Well, because he was already in the system with the feds. So when I proved that he... I'll tell you exactly how I got him. You ready for this?
Yeah.
He wasn't telling his the people that he paid restitution to about the money he was stealing from me. So we actually got him on not reporting his entire income to the feds because a portion of that would go out to restitution. So when I proved that he wrote checks and signed them that he wasn't supposed to, he didn't technically report that, is why I could get him thrown in the pokey so quick, because he broke the probation.
Oh.
You follow what I'm saying?
Was he ever convicted for stealing from you?
Yes.
Oh, okay. So, and...
well, it was proven right there by the fact that he was writing those checks and he wasn't supposed to.
I know Rolly Purifoy had somebody steal from him.
Oh, that was horrible, too.
Yes, and I know that... How many people...
You had that donut guy like 30 years ago.
Oh, my God. If you think about the people that have stolen from us, I mean, it's just ridiculous. Or people you believe. And it's not just outright theft. And there's some things, you know, like the use of my company credit card. That was done. I mean, but there's just so much that you can do, and then you have to stop. I mean, if you keep trying to fight it, the best thing to do is stop the bleeding and move on if you can. If you can, you know, get him in trouble, fine. But what Gary has is too, in my opinion, too flimsy. It's just too flimsy. Now, when we come back, we're going to talk about Claudia. She said, I had a contract for $28,000 for my house. The insurance will only pay $14,000. Meanwhile, they wanted another $40 or $50 grand on top of it, making the whole job $80,000 on just my house. Then the company told Mark, well, she had 3 contracts with us. One was a commercial building, and she says, absolutely not. Well, you're going to hear the absolute truth coming right up, and I'm telling you, you're going to be surprised.
This report is brought to you
What'd you
by
talk?
No stalls, no accidents, no major delays.
It looks like it was a repair at first. Is that what they were only replacing a part of the roof? Is that why it was so low at the beginning?
The insurance company said there's no way we're taking this old solar system off.
Yeah.
We'll
How did you
repair
get
it.
them to? How did you get them to approve it?
They didn't approve it.
That's the thing. It's not approved.
It's
So
not
it's only
approved.
14 grand.
She won't allow them to fight with the insurance company at this point.
So 14 is the only thing you agreed upon.
28.
Oh, well, that's what we're talking about.
And then on her mother's house, so that's a whole different deal.
But she said only 14 was approved on her house.
Well, 28's been approved by the insurance company.
Okay, that's what Elite told you, right?
Yeah. And they won't come on, so don't even.
Is this one of those solar systems with water through
It's
it?
old school,
Could
man.
be, they're terrible. They should take them off anyway.
I don't know that it is though. The way that she was described.
I'm curious where it fell apart. I'd like to know why all of a sudden she doesn't want to deal with the insurance company.
That's what I want to
The
know.
insurance company thinks, hey, I'm sorry, this is Mark Major at the Tom Martino Show. Hey, man, what's going on? I went to call Martin's number and it's gone, and I had her producer call, and she said that he's no longer there. I feel a little strange. I thought he was part of the ownership.
Numerous complaints from people who paid money up front and got nothing. That will never happen with Excel.
Yeah, something went wrong somewhere. Because that's a lot of money to lose over misunderstanding.
Yeah.
From a roofing standpoint. I mean, there's $13,000 in overhead and profit that if the insurance company would approve it. And the line items were legitimate.
Mm-hmm. So why is she upset with Elite?
Well, that's a good question. She got a funny feeling somewhere, but the Google reviews for Elite are all good.
Denver's talk station online at jhow.com. If you're looking for a beautiful smile, Aurora Orthodontics,
I think she's just being suspicious.
Cosmetic dentistry went for a lesser price.
Well, when there's that kind of increase and no explanation,
Yeah, there must be something wrong, but not necessarily.
Better health. It's less expensive.
I mean, if they were only paying to replace
the problem, not
several squares on that type of roof, it's a certainty premium shingle. I forget what the actual shingle is.
Dr. Kent Lawson.
Did you see the picture of the house?
Yes, big house.
2 years or less, and as short
Was it that one that you showed that was sort of a low pitch?
Mm-hmm. And it's got a, it's got the garage and the attached garage.
It's a low pitched roof. You've got extra expense there too.
A low pitch?
Yeah, a low pitched roof.
They're more expensive?
Yeah, you'd have to put on double felt.
Yeah. I mean, either one's got their expenses, right? On a steeper roof, you got steep charges because it's harder to install.
Right.
But there's more material costs on a lower roof.
You guys love Trump, right?
I love
Trump. I do.
Thank you. 4 against 1.
I'm starting to think from that. That's right, 4 against 1, Mr. Hillary over here. I'm starting to think that needs to be one of those questions you ask, like they ask the judges. They give them a litmus test. So in order to come in studio from right now, we got to start having this test. It'll be very straightforward.
I do know one guy that won't make it through the door.
We definitely got some people. We had that one woman one time wanted to wring my neck right here.
Yeah. He's really a dividing point, isn't he? I mean, people either like him or they don't.
And I can see why, because of his tweets.
Because of his personality.
But
he expects a politician, even though he likes him, he expects a politician.
I love that he doesn't take crap and calls media out for what they are. Yeah, that's what I like.
Yeah.
What did they say about Martin?
They won't tell me either, but everything's still good with them. They love the arrangement.
Oh, they do.
Anytime we need anything, whether it's a repo or whatever. Martin's no longer with Cast Iron.
Does he go by Bill or
He's sending me all the info, and I'll send it to you. I did. Well, he might have owned a percentage of it.
I sent Martin a Facebook message going, "Hey, we're looking for you."
Yeah. Okay. Good.
So,
I mean, I don't know what happened. He might have opened another. I have no idea. But as of this very second, Cast Iron's still cool.
but he didn't say why.
What do you mean?
Why they?
He would not say it like almost like if I had to guess, maybe Martin opened another company. I have no idea.
Okay, but
I said.
Hi, Tom Martino here. Welcome. 303-713-TALK, 703-8255. So, Claudia, hold on. Let me talk to her first. Claudia, for those listening, Claudia called in and said, I had a bid on my house for $28,000. The insurance will only pay $14,000. Then, to make matters worse, there was a supplement that made the bid on my house $80,000, and they told me in order to get out of it, I have to pay a tremendous cancellation fee of how much, Claudia?
$22,000.
$22,000. Okay. You did, by the way, sign a contract on your home. It did have a cancellation clause in there, and we did verify. Then we called the company. The company said, "Wait a minute." Claudia had multiple contracts with us, 3 of them, one on a commercial building, one on her mom's house, and then the $80,000 was on the commercial building. Claudia says, absolutely not. That $80,000 was on my house. So we looked deeper, and here's what we found, okay? You do not have a contract on a commercial building. They did look at the commercial building, and that's not at issue here at all. So you were correct in that, okay? And the woman at Elite, Mark truly feels, was not trying to mislead us.
No.
And just was confused and baffled by our call and did more research. Okay, so here's the deal. You do not have a commercial building contract with them. You did ask them to look at it. They did look at it. That's not at issue. Now, the mom's house, they did have a contract. Your mom did sign it, and they are going to do that house if you want them to, okay? That is a contract not at issue. At issue now is your house. Only $14,000 was approved. Their bid came in at $28,000. They said they're almost positive they could negotiate with the insurance company and get that bid to where it should be.
The $28,000 is just to repair it.
Right. The $28,000 is for the repair. $80,000 would be for complete replacement.
And $80,000 plus, because a lot of the stuff on the contract, like the price of the solar, isn't there. The electrician isn't there, so it would be over $80,000.
But I will say this, okay, now, you have bad blood. You do not want to use Elite. Is that right?
Not if I'm going to get treated like this.
Okay, and also, I don't think it's a good mix that they want to work with you. However, we did have Petrali and his supervisor look at this. We had them look at the bid. Mark looked at the bid, and they all agree that that $80,000 bid was thoughtful and detailed, and probably there truly is around $80,000 in damages at your home.
And there's probably an argument to be made that the right person in front of your adjuster for your insurance company might sign off on it, but regardless.
Okay, so Claudia, just so you know, we feel that $80,000 is not that ridiculous, okay?
Okay.
So,
if they can talk the insurance company into it.
Here is my recommendation to you, okay? And Mark negotiated this.
Okay.
Mark talked to them, and they said they would be willing to walk away for on your mom's contract and your contract.
Or they'll do just one.
Or they'll do just your mom.
$1,000 each.
But $1,000 each. So if you want to cancel your contract, have them do your mom's house, fine. My recommendation would be that you let them do your mom's house. She signed the contract. They'll do fine. My recommendation is you cancel and pay them $1,000. And before you say no, I'm going to tell you why. Okay. Based on this estimate that they gave, I am almost positive that if you call Colorado Claims Consultants, which is a public adjuster, that he is going to recover a ton of money for you, okay? And it'll be more than make up for that $1,000, plus it'll help you, and you do need help, and I'll tell you why. Your insurance company is being ridiculous, okay? If they're only going to cover 14 grand, and that roofer or Elite says it's more like 80 grand, and 80 doesn't even cover everything, I am guessing in my mind you're going to have $100,000 to $125,000 in claims.
And you got to have a guy like Freddie out there who knows what he's doing.
Claudia, you need someone, in my opinion,
and a good roofer.
And I want you to know this. Freddie's on my referral list, but I'm not making any money from this referral at all. You need to first cancel with them. They did nothing wrong in our book. Pay them $1,000, but I'd let them do your mother's house. Then that $1,000 will more than make up. It'll be more than made up for if you hire Colorado Claims Consultants to take this claim. They will up that claim and get you what you should get, and they will take a commission. And then you hire someone reputable from my referral list.
Like Petrali here, like Excel, like a lot of people.
Right. And you get them to do the job. And I'm telling you, that is what you should do. That is our recommendation. But at least we found out you're not full of crap, and a lot of what you said was true, that the numbers were that
You've got a beautiful house, by the way. My goodness, it's huge. You got a couple detached garages, a gazebo, solar system.
What part of town is that?
North of 6th Avenue and south of I-70.
Okay. Well, listen, Claudia, if you need more help, Suzanne can fill in the details. Give her Freddie's number. Freddie is 719. Suzanne, could you give that to her, please? 719-495-0772. Oh, my gosh. Now, we will get to all of your other calls coming up. We are so busy, okay? Stick around on the Troubleshooter Show, and you'll find out why we recover millions and settle millions of dollars in problems, as you just heard on the Troubleshooter Show.
Mark.
Excel Roofing is one of the best.
Unbelievable.
Why so much? Was it the solar that's so much? Or?
I don't know. They both looked at it and everything looked normal. It's a big-ass house. 2 detached garages.
You said 3,000 square feet.
Well, maybe it's a ranch that's 3,000. But that didn't include the 2 garages. They're detached. Didn't include the gazebo, which sounds massive. They're in the area. They can swing out there later today, maybe.
He negotiates with the insurance company to get you the best settlement. 303-761-6400.
Well, I'd like to know what happened to Martin. I always liked that dude.
Yeah.
303-761-6400.
Oh, really? I had a blast when we went out repoing that car, man.
No, did they pay anything to be on, or were they all trade?
All trade. They'll go do whatever we want, including.
Whether you have old damage or new, or you simply.
No, I thought, like, say, and you had a great deal.
That's really how you should have moved. Nah, it's probably you don't want to put your Ferrari in a tow truck, do you? That's probably worse than driving it.
A flatbed, I would.
Yeah, but I mean, what's more risk, driving it or someone loading it? I don't know.
Well, it depends on where you're taking it too, right?
Yeah, that's true.
Long lane.
President Trump says North Korean
so low to the ground.
I couldn't. I'd be. To me, it would be just a horrible thing to own because I'd be terrified to fucking drive it.
Together to isolate the Kim regime until it ceases its hostile behavior.
The president referring to Kim as Rocket Man.
Rocket Man.
I can't wait till the night when I go on Fox and we'll see what CNN says and stuff. I didn't see any negatives and stuff.
God, what negative could you say? We like the Rocket Man. Quit making fun of the Rocket Man.
No, well, we could say about the Iran deal.
Or the word it was the worst deal in the world.
I agree, but everybody doesn't think that way.
I don't know, man. Let me tell you, a lot of people that kind of liked it when they saw that half of the fucking money dropped off. they started thinking a little different, because that's as weird as it gets. Did you see that, Tom, do you remember that?
This report is...
What's that? They landed a damn Air Force jet in Iran and literally unloaded pallets of $100 bills.
They did that, they did euros, and they did gold.
Yep.
They did all three currencies and stuff.
Oh, they did?
Yeah, all untraceable. Nothing was traceable.
On purpose.
No Obama. That was carried at the horse-faced politician who negotiated. The gigolo to the Heinz fortune.
Utility company rebates, a 10-year parts and labor warranty, and no interest financing up to 3 years. 303-562-0439. That's 303-562-0439. Or plumlineservices.com.
If you want luxury granite or quartz countertops in your kitchen, you need to call Art of Granite. They sell you the stone at the wholesale price and only charge you the installation and the labor. They're custom fabricators. Gold Star with the
How does that? I don't care. How does that station?
They're going to do your factory refrigerator absolutely free. Call them right now at 303-386-5919. That's 303-386-5919.
I can understand
or go online at
We got wires hanging out of the ceiling. We got lights so bright, I start seeing colors. What's going on around here?
Hi, I'm Tom Martino, your troubleshooter. 303-713-TALK, 713-8255. This hour brought to you by Ideal Home Loans. For your next Ideal Home Loan, all you have to do is call them. They'll always put you at the front of their priority, meaning not their goals, but yours. They want to put you in a better position, okay? So, lower interest rate, yes, but not just lower interest rates. Let's say that a loan is too expensive. You know, not that expensive, but like you're not going to be there that long. They'll let you know. They do that math to see, hey, wait a minute, it won't pay. Or they'll tell you, hey, this will take 3 months to pay off or 6 months to pay off. They'll let you know what the savings will do to pay the cost. They will calculate that for you. Because a lot of people say, hey, will it pay to refinance and get a lower payment if I have to pay some points and all of this? They will calculate that and let you know when to refinance and when the best time is. They'll also do a credit optimization, which gets you better pricing on the back end because they tweak your credit. And a lot of people, if you're approved, that's all they care about, is that you're approved. But Ideal goes a step further. And they not just approve you, but they try to tweak your credit by saying, hey, you might want to pay this balance down by $20 or so. Sometimes small little adjustments or adding an address to your credit file because there was a gap in it. Little things like that can mean points on your FICO score, which gives you better pricing over the long run. They do small things like this all the time. They also do the rate guarantee, which means if rates go down, they'll refinance you. And then they have the pre-approvals. Here's the most important thing. All of their stuff is put in writing. All of it. All of their promises will be put in writing. Ideal has helped many people right here at the station. Salary-based loan specialists, always looking out for what's best for you. 303-867-7000, idealhomeloans.com. Okay, now, Chris, what's going on with you, Chris? Welcome to the show. You have a question.
Yeah, Tom, why is it that the insurance companies don't require, when they're replacing a roof, put a steel roof on? I have a steel roof, and I've had it for a decade, and I've got a couple neighbors that have them, and the other neighbors have had to have their roofs replaced all over again, and we're sitting pretty. Why?
Because they'd have to pay the difference at the beginning. That steel roof costs a lot more money, doesn't it, Dave?
It does.
Well, first of all, what do you mean require it? You mean like everyone have a steel roof?
Exactly.
Well, of course not, because
why not?
Well, Chris, think about that. If insurance company, I wouldn't go with an insurance company that required me to have a certain roof. What if the house doesn't look good with a steel roof?
Not only that, most HOAs dictate what your roof is going to be anyhow.
Chris, I don't want companies dictating what I do.
I live in an HOA.
But Chris, It just doesn't seem reasonable. I don't want an insurance company or any company telling me what kind of roof I have to have or what kind of... I don't mind if they tell me about safety standards and stuff to insure something, but I don't want them telling me what kind of roof I can have.
Well, then people shouldn't complain when their insurance rates go up because they're having to replace all the...
But the steel roofs aren't hail-proof. They'll still be dented, or are you saying that doesn't matter if they're dented as long as they don't leak? Is that what you're saying?
The only time a steel roof would be replaced if it compromises a roof. These are asphalt coated. They look like tile. They're beautiful.
I know what you're saying.
Decker tile or Decker or something like that.
And it cost me $1,000.
I'm curious. Are they loud? I mean, like when it rains, is it way louder?
No.
No, they're coated, Mark. They're not just bare steel. But, Chris, listen, I get what you're saying. He's saying if they required this for everyone, then we would have a lower rate because the insurance pool would be less likely to, or less susceptible to damage.
I'm curious.
That's what he's saying. That's like saying, like we're going to outlaw shake shingles, okay?
Yeah.
Or we're gonna make sure you only have this kind of window. I don't want those kinds of restrictions. It's just not. I don't think it's apropos in our society. I mean, if you're like, now though, Chris, I will say this: they have done certain things like that. For example, helmet laws, right? That was done for insurance mainly to cut down on the. To cut down on injury. It was done because insurance companies say that they lobbied for it because you had catastrophic injuries without helmets, which caused paralysis, which caused people to be in intensive care and all of these maintenance for life, and that was definitely something that insurance companies wanted to keep the risk down in the insurance pool. But you can only go so far with that. I don't know. I mean, there's really nothing to say. I mean, would you want a company telling you what you can have and can't have?
And I wouldn't necessarily want a steel roof. Depends on the neighborhood that I live in.
But really, the steel roof can look just like an asphalt roof.
Sort of.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
They can coat them with asphalt, technically, and make them look just like a tile.
They can, yeah.
They can make them look like stone.
Doesn't mean they're more durable.
Are they noisier?
No, they're not. And he seemed to think, he seemed to think that they're hail-proof or something.
No, they're not. No, we've replaced steel roofs before, and actually walking on some of those roofs, I wouldn't want one on my house because just of the way that they're compromised when you walk on them. They're dented. They can be easily dented.
I've seen that. I've seen that. Okay. Jerry, welcome. What's happening, Jerry? 303-713-TALK is our number, 713-8255. What's going on?
Well, this whole thing with Equifax kind of got me running scared. What do you think of these credit monitoring services? And if you like them, which one would you recommend?
A monitoring service.
I think LifeLock.
I would probably go to the company, to one of the reporting agencies themselves.
Geez, I don't know about that anymore.
Well, I mean, they have your information already. I would probably go to either Experian, Equifax, or TransUnion. I'd go to one of them if they offer it, and I think they do.
I wonder if they offer it to where it helps with all three. Or is it just for themselves? I don't know. Or just lock it like most people are doing. What do you see on there?
I don't know. I mean, this whole thing just scares me to death.
Put a lock on it now, but LifeLock, I like LifeLock. Tom's seeing if I just don't know if you get it through Experian, if it covers TransUnion as well, for example.
Well, no,
I would guess it does.
No, you're talking about monitoring. Yes, it's for complete monitoring. They all offer
sell it.
Yeah, I mean so it really, Jerry, it depends on what you want. I mean, LifeLock's been around the longest, but there are a ton of these companies.
And look at price, too. I mean, I don't know what they charge. I mean, get a good deal on it. They're all going to be similar.
U.S. News and World Report recommends some. Do you think they're a pretty good source to use?
Not necessarily, no. I have no idea what motivated their ranking. Look, in my opinion, again, I don't think they're you know, U.S. News and World Reports, that doesn't mean anything to me. It means someone there researched and they came up with some kind of criteria and they ranked them. What I'm saying to you is, I've always thought if they're in the business of credit furnishing anyway, and they've been in the space longer than anyone, then I probably would want them to monitor me, because I don't know, it's just like they seem to be the best at doing this because they've been doing it the longest. I'm not saying the other ones are bad services. It's just another level of people who have all of my information. And I just want to keep that circle as tight as possible.
I look at it a little different, because here's folks that got all this data stolen and they didn't even tell the American public for 40 days. I would just hate to spend a nickel with them, I guess, is where I go. That's why I like the outside company.
Well, Jerry, it's really up to you. I mean, there's no magic answer to this. But for one thing, be sure that you research the hell out of them online.
Or just lock it.
To make sure, you're right, or do your own credit freeze. What are you trying to accomplish, Jerry? That's really what you should ask yourself. What are you trying to accomplish?
I just don't want anybody to get into my accounts and start to pilfer them or...
Okay. If you want... Now, this is one thing that we should mention. We talk about credit freezes you can do on your own. And I just tried to do one at Experian, and it says we are unable to fulfill your request. So why is that, Mark? I tried to do...
I think because they're so busy, man.
We're unable to honor your request to place a security freeze on your personal credit reports based on the information you entered.
Oh, you entered something that they didn't think was correct. I don't know, old home address. I don't know the questions it asked, but one of them you probably answered incorrectly, in their opinion.
So then what do? You don't get a freeze?
You can probably try again.
I mean, that's ridiculous. Is that what they do? They just say they can't do it, and then you don't get it?
Or you call them.
But, Jerry, we talked about freezes, right? So if you do a freeze, here's what you accomplish. No one can open any account in your name, period. Okay? Here's what it does not do. With this Equifax bust and hack, what happens is these people now can open... They don't have to open an account. They can go into your existing account and take money, okay, because they have your information. But no credit monitoring system in the world will prevent that. Do you understand that? Credit monitoring is just that. They monitor your credit to see who has access, when they accessed it, why they accessed it, and you have control over that. That's the only thing they do. It's monitoring. It does not prevent people from pilfering, as you said. So if that is your goal, it's not going to prevent that. It's just not.
Here's the other thing it's not going to prevent. If they truly got credit card numbers and everything else like a lot of people are saying, it's not going to prevent someone from using that credit card number that got the information. It has nothing to do with that. People's bank accounts and credit cards can still be used, and it doesn't matter if your account's locked or not.
So, Jerry, monitoring is just monitoring. If, you know, it's really weird, but anyone who has your bank account number, your account number and routing number, can take money.
As we learned.
And we proved it on the air.
That's not only that. At one point, we had someone we wrote a check to, we still don't know who, showed up and cashed one at the bank on a phony baloney check. Remember how bad the counterfeit check looked? I mean, it looked like a 3-year-old did it, and stupid Vectra Bank still cashed it.
Right. Now, here's the thing. Electronically you can do it without presenting a check. If I have your routing number and your account number, I can steal from you all day long. The banks never ask a question. This is what people don't understand. They never ask a question. When you find out that someone did it and complained, then they look into it. And they will reverse the charge. But here's the thing. They can never stop it. Never. There is nothing in place to stop withdrawing from your account. Nothing. All I need is that. So if you write a check to someone, they have a key to your bank account because they have all the numbers they need the rest of their lives to rip you off. We've had people who collect checks for just they're minimum wage people who make a copy of that check or write down the numbers and use them a year later. They can't even be traced to their job because they're not even at the same job anymore. All they need is one set of numbers. They wait a full year, and they can take out $50,000 and be gone. And you want to know something? They can't do anything about it because the system is not secure. Patrick, your turn. What's going on, Patrick?
Hey, I just had a question to tail off of Jerry. And I only got monitoring. In fact, I got it about a week before that big Equifax thing came out. And it's a good thing I did because my brother's got a crazy ex-girlfriend. I mean, literally, physically crazy. And she never had any connection to my address. And all of a sudden, I just want to do my, free credit report. So I got it. There's like 4 credit cards opened up in her name under my address. Odd, very odd.
Wow. Wow.
So I ended up going with, because I wanted to put my wife just on monitoring. I understand the bank statements, credit cards.
Yeah.
Different story. And I'm on top of that better than you guys would be. But I just wanted something to monitor my credit.
Right.
And I got it for my wife and I. It's $26.95 for my wife and I. It's called ID Watchdog. They're based here in Denver.
And?
The reviews are absolutely friggin' stellar.
And tell me what happened.
Well, I'm still chasing her down. They did not catch it. Unfortunately, that I caught on my credit report. They did not catch it because...
So wait, the watchdog company didn't catch it?
Well, they didn't catch it because I didn't activate them. I was already on top of my credit report before I activated them, service with them. So I'm trying to chase her down, but that's separate from ID Watchdog.
Well, anyway, I'm glad that you like them. I mean, thank you for letting us know because the guy was just asking.
It's cheap enough.
Again, monitoring is only monitoring. Okay, there's nothing wrong with it, but it will never stop electronic thievery. Lupe, hold on one second. I'll come right back to you. You want to talk about voluntary repossession. A lot of people misunderstand what that is with a car. We'll talk about it. First, I want to tell you about Colorado Tinnitus and Hearing Center. If you have tinnitus, listen up over the ringing and over the humming or the pounding because it can be irritable. Some people have literally gone to see psychiatrists and have been nervous wrecks over tinnitus because it's constant. And now there is relief, permanent relief. Now, of course, Colorado Tinnitus and Hearing Center for years have been offering all kinds of great services for people with hearing losses and tinnitus, and now they offer, of course, the latest in permanent solutions, and that's Desyncra. Call them for details. Get a hearing evaluation. But all I want to tell you is it's remarkable. It's called Desyncra. Now, if you have a hearing loss along with it, they have hearing aids as well. Wonderful hearing aids. I have hearing aids from Colorado Tinnitus and Hearing Center. Now, if you have just a hearing loss, that's fine, or just tinnitus, that's fine. Either one, they can handle. The great thing is they let you try out products before you buy with no obligation. Go see them. Online, you can get them at helpforringing.com or call 303-534-0163. 303-534-0163 and look for Colorado Tinnitus and Hearing Center on my referral list at referrallist.com.
This report is brought to you.
You know, when Trump was saying all that stuff about getting wiretapped, now it looks like that's exactly what happened. Everybody was ridiculing him, you're full of shit.
That's happened with many things that he's
almost everything he says is
it comes back around,
including the size of the crowd. It was much larger than any other crowd ever. And he also stated that when he gets on Air Force One, he likes loading the press on first because they sit on the front, then he walks past the press. Right here.
Oh, I interpreted it.
Do you see what happened to Pelosi?
No. Oh man, they booed the shit out of her.
What was that about? I didn't really read
because
these are all her fans.
They hate Trump. Yeah. The fact that she made it. Actually, they got exactly what they wanted. Right. And their own base is pissed off they got it.
No, that,
Well,
no,
they
want to take all their families and everybody over here.
They want total amnesty.
Yes.
And
immediately.
Yeah, immediately. They didn't want to listen to Pelosi at all, even though she's helped them more than anybody. Yeah. So she got booed off the stage.
I didn't know that. I honestly just heard the booing part. I thought that, I had no idea that was about amnesty. I thought that was about the 90-day and the budget that they just crunched. Her and McConnell, or whatever his name is, went in there and got that deal done.
It was a combination of those things. Yeah.
They want any deal with Trump. They want.
That's what I thought. It was purely a deal with Trump.
They want it all. They want to bring their families. They want everything.
They want everything. Yeah.
And then they don't show up to vote. That's the ironic part. Tell me that's not ironic.
Well, it's not just that. How can you demand something when you're illegal?
Well, how can they vote?
They won't.
How can they vote?
Did you get rejected at all?
You answered one of the questions, I'm sure that's what it is.
I think most
you
people
call
probably said, okay,
you're going to be on hold for about 8
Don't you?
I'd have to ask you
what to do.
Yeah.
You know, that's what's really.
No, you could definitely call.
Go back to your own country.
One of the things I found, actually, 3 different phone numbers to call.
That's what you want. But I tell you, they really, and it's the left. They feel if you create chaos, they're going to cave in.
Do you still have a landline?
Who doesn't?
You do, don't you? Do you have a landline?
Frank Duran, the real estate man. If you're looking to list your home and you want to sell it faster and for more money than the market average, he has stats to prove he can do it, and people love him. At 303-920-1622, Frank Duran, therealestateman.com. I say people love him because I get the reviews here, and we have never had anyone with such glowing reports. He not only lists your home, but he walks you through the entire process, including closing, and explains everything. Now, if you're looking to buy, he has a team who can help you buy as well. And he overlooks every single deal, every single transaction goes through Frank's hands, and he has people who can help you stage your home, people can help market your home, and they take care of all of it for you. That's 303-920-1622. Frank Duran, therealestateman.com. Okay. Can't go without mentioning that Denver Custom Food Trucks and Restaurant Equipment still refuses to talk.
Oh, Lord.
About their ripping off of people, and they've said they wanted to come on. They said that.
Rudy's so busy making money, he said today, that he can't come on.
He just basically, they just rip people off and smile about it. And it's Denver Custom Food Trucks and Restaurant Equipment. And I want to differentiate them from Colorado food trucks. So that's why I'm saying this. Colorado food trucks, they're fine. We don't get complaints about these guys. But this place, Denver Custom Food Trucks and Restaurant Equipment, we get complaints almost daily now. Their number is 720-579-1699. You should avoid that number wherever you see it. And Rudy is at 303-242-0163. And Rudy basically says, you know what, I'm making so much money, I don't have time to talk. He says that kind of, he thinks it's going to bug us, you know, because what he means is nobody cares that they're ripping people off. And granted, it is not an area of rip-offs this is not going to affect a large number of people. Not many people are going to have a custom food truck built. So it's a small subsection of our population, but still, you need to spread the word to have people stay away from Denver Custom Food Trucks and Restaurant Equipment.
It's a pretty tiny community, too, and they've affected a lot of people in it, man.
No, they have. It is a small community, and it's a close-knit community. I can't believe
we heard
what a wonderful industry it is, and how many great food trucks there are out there.
We heard a rumor that this guy Rudy might actually own his own Roach Coach, but I don't know. We're trying to find out.
And the complaint basically with them is that they take money and they do lousy jobs. They can't pass inspection, not just food inspections, but DOT inspections.
And they're so late on the build, people have already paid deposits for stuff like the Taste of Colorado to sell their products there, and they can't even go because the vehicle's not done.
Right. So they're just terrible people. Terrible.
And last thing, he did come on the air one time and promised he would send that one couple $3,500.
And lied.
He's a liar.
Yeah. Tim, what's going on?
Yes.
What's happening, Tim?
Thanks for taking my call.
Yes, sir.
My son works for a landscaper, and it makes like $12, $14 an hour or something like that. And in his paycheck, he got a note. He did some edging, and I guess he didn't do it deep enough. And he said his boss told him in the note that if they had to redo his edging again, they would take it out of his pay, and he had it estimated that the pay would be like $230.
But they didn't do it, right?
No, they didn't do it, but they said if they had to do it again, and that was just kind of an estimate of what it cost, and I was just wondering
No,
if
I understand.
Legal.
I understand. It's called offsetting. Now, they can offset for damages that employees do, like truck to their equipment or trucks or unreturned uniforms or lost equipment, lost stuff.
If it's in some form of employment agreement, I would argue that if you don't have any agreement discussing uniforms and what's expected, I don't know.
Okay, well, let's find out, because this is called offsetting, and a lot of people do it. Now, when it comes to mistakes, that probably is going to be controversial. Like, if you make a mistake and cost me money, I would say that employer would have to eat it, just off the cuff. I don't know. We're going to find out.
Think of this.
So hold on. We're going to get Sean on.
When I owned the automotive shops, if one of my guys accidentally left oil out, you think I could hold him responsible for an $8,000 engine?
Well, there's a certain amount of offset that employers have been doing for years, but what is proper offset? What's improper offset? I'm going to talk to Sean Olson from the Olson Law Firm. There are employment experts at Troubleshooter.com and Referralist.com and members of Referral List. Sean, basically offsetting unreturned uniforms, lost cell phones, damage to my company truck, stuff like that. Are employers allowed to offset and withhold from wages?
Yes, depending on what kind of offsets you're talking about. But yeah, lost uniforms, cell phones that an employee takes with them when they leave, those things can be offset from a final paycheck, usually if notice is given beforehand that such a thing is going to occur.
So what about during employment? If I have an employee who makes a mistake and we have to redo something or and buy more equipment or buy more material, can I say, hey, this screw-up cost me $200. I'm taking it out of your pay?
Possibly. You know, if it's like broken equipment or the result of some negligence on the part of the employee, it's possible that the employer could do that.
But what if he didn't do it right? Like in this case, it was landscaping, edging, wasn't dug deep enough. They had to go back and redo it.
That's probably a tougher call. You know, an employer might be able to, you know, if they'd given notice beforehand and the training was proper and that sort of thing. You know, the bigger question is, would they or should they?
No, I understand that. But do you think, though, if it brought a guy down to below minimum wages after you offset him, couldn't that employee make the argument he's not being paid minimum wage?
He absolutely could, yes. Yeah, that would likely rise to a violation of the Colorado wage order or the FLSA. Because
they took too much out.
Correct.
Okay. Right. But in all cases, do I hear you saying that they should be notified ahead of time that these are the consequences?
Yes. Any smart employer who's thinking about doing that, even thinking and considering doing it, should give the employee notice of that beforehand.
You know, Sean brings up a great point here. For people out there listening that have employees, the importance of having an employee manual they look at and sign when it comes to uniforms, when it comes to stuff like this. You do that stuff, right, Sean? You'll develop an employee manual?
Sure, we can work on those kinds of things for an employer.
They don't just represent employees. They represent employers. I mean, they help do things the right way. That's what employment law is all about. Sean, hold on. We have another question I think you might be able to answer. Jason, you have a question about vacation pay.
No, this is Gabe, Tom.
Oh, I'm sorry. I have the wrong one. Oh, I'm sorry.
Oh, he hung up.
He hung up. So we'll ask the question anyway. Maybe he's listening. Hold on, okay, Gabe, and I'll be back. So, what about vacation pay? When somebody leaves, do they have to be paid accumulated vacation time?
It depends. Depends on what the policies are. If the policies dictate that someone is able to accrue that time and keep that time, then yes, they would have to be paid. If it goes away, if it's use it or lose it sort of a system, then they don't if that time has already been lost. But if that time has already been given to them and they haven't lost it yet per the policies, then that time has to be paid out.
So the employer gets to really do it the way he wants.
Correct, so long as they have a policy.
Well, okay, thank you very much. Sean Olson, Olson Law Firm, 303-586-7297. You can find Sean Olson or Olson Law Firm on our referral list at referralist.com. One Clear Choice Garage Doors. If you're looking for a garage door and you don't know where to go, One Clear Choice is your choice, right? If you need an opener, One Clear Choice. They have openers with Wi-Fi technology now. Can you believe that? That can be programmed to your cell phone. You can open and close it from anywhere, or batteries, backups, or time to close features, or if you just wake up and one day the door doesn't open because the spring is broken. Whatever it is, One Clear Choice Doors.com. 303-565-6409. 565-6409. And let's talk about cars, okay? Since we're talking about garage doors, let's talk about Pro Auto Care. Pro Auto Care is a place that's been in business for 25 years. That's saying something in the auto repair industry, right? Well, let's go one step further. There's 2 locations, the same owner, family owned and operated. He even has his son now there that's the master mechanic. And if you want the best in auto care, Pro Auto Care. 303-PRO-AUTO is the number, and the website is 303proauto.com. And when you want something done, you get roadside assistance and guarantees in between every single repair. As soon as you go in there, you become part of the family. Then after that, if something happens, you're stuck on the side of the road, you call them up. That's right. With every single repair, you get guarantees and roadside assistance. Call for details. 303-PRO-AUTO. They're near Evans and I-25 and near Bowles and Santa Fe. 2 convenient locations. 303-PRO-AUTO.
This report is brought to you.
The lunch-hour drive continues to be in great shape as far as...
Will you be able to take Ad to drop off at Sparring? Because I wanted to do yoga. I missed last night.
Brighton Boulevard and Vasquez. Otherwise, the drive 70 through town looking good. I-25 up to speed through the heart of town, including downtown as well. No delays on the Turnpike. I-270 is looking good in Commerce City. Trouble-free on 225 in Aurora. And no issues on 6th Avenue in Lakewood. The weather forecast. Well, we're going to have sunny and windy conditions for the rest of today. Red flag warning in place until 8 o'clock tonight.
Red flag warning.
Right now cloudy and 79.
Smart.
Weather Pete Wagner. 630 K-House.
I think data breaches only affect...
Man, these credit reporting places are really pissing me off. I can't get into any of them.
Any of them? What do you think you're asking wrong? What question do you know?
Well, maybe they have something wrong.
Well, that's possible.
And so therefore I gotta guess what they're doing wrong.
Yep.
To get in.
Yep, you're absolutely right. Mine were pretty easy. It had like an address I lived at 20 years ago, and I happen to remember it.
Heating or electric. So if you hear voices, it's just brothers telling it like it is. Call 303-451-5057. Brothers Plumbing, Heating and Electric. BrothersPlumbing.com.
Now, is this a real one? Freeze.equifax.com? Is that real? Because that may not be their domain.
Yeah, that is if it's something.equifax.com. As long as you're spelling it right.
Sunrooms plus 60-month low interest financing. Every American-made Champion window is installed using expert craftsmen and features their exclusive Comfort 365 glass. And they're covered by Champion's exclusive lifetime warranty on the frame, glass, hardware, and the installation. That's why I proudly endorse Champion. Schedule online for your free in-home estimate at GetChampion.com. That's GetChampion.com. Champion's falling prices will have your energy bills falling year-round, and you falling in love with your home once again. 30% off new windows, 25% off siding and sunroofs.
Then they have EchoStack Security 2017.
Guaranteed for life. GetChampion.com.
Join the Colorado Rockies next weekend as they take on the Dodgers for the final 3 games of the regular season, September 29th through October 1st.
You guys see that Broncos game, man? Boy, they look good.
They won, right?
They did. They killed them, man. So much for Dallas's dream child there.
Couldn't happen to a better team.
Dallas is such a weird team, man. They're like Tom. You either love them or hate them. It's so bizarre. What do they call that? What's the name of that?
I hope you never need Wink and Wink. They are bankruptcy attorneys, but they're there to help you if you need a Chapter 7 or a Chapter 13 bankruptcy. It'll stop creditors from bugging you. It'll get you a fresh start. Some people have death in the family, a major illness, unemployment, divorce, whatever it is. They'll understand, and they'll help you through it. Again, they do settlements too, but whatever it is, you can call them at 303-410-1720, 410-1720. That's winkandwink.com. You can find them on my referral list at referralist.com. Lupe, no, I'm sorry, Lupe. Let me go to Gabe since I picked him up before. Gabe, what's going on, Gabe? You are calling about Social Security and jail. We looked that up, and it's true. Your Social Security payments are suspended while in jail. They do not accumulate, and you do not get retroactive pay once you're out.
Oh, really?
Yep.
Okay, that was my question.
No, but while you're in jail, they do pay for your dependents and your wife if they're qualified.
I see. Okay. Well, you answered my question.
What do you think of that? I'm curious.
Why, Gabe? Are you expecting to go to jail?
No, his buddy was in jail.
A friend of mine's in there, and I pay commissary and storage for this person, and I was seeing if I can get reimbursed.
Okay.
You know, that's 1 year's worth of pay, you know.
Yeah. You know what's weird is if it was a 401k, the government's not going to touch it, but when it's your Social Security retirement, they touch it. I don't know how I think. One hand says, well, the guy's in jail, forget about him, but the other hand is, my God, this is his retirement.
You know, in a way, I know what you're saying. They've contributed to it because that's the only way you are going to get it, is that you've had enough quarters to qualify for it. So why are they keeping it? Maybe the argument is you're paying them back for the housing. I don't know.
Yeah.
I wonder, do people in prison have to pay anything for being there? I know that sounds crazy, but are they assessed any cost?
I don't know.
Is that why they work? And then something is taken out of their pay? I don't know. Do they work in prison, right? Don't they have jobs?
I think so.
To keep the prison running?
I think so, yeah, absolutely. I'm sure they have jobs. I don't know what they pay.
Or if they do pay, or if it's just for...
So they can get out of their cell and do something.
All right, let's keep going. By the way, Petrolli Roofing is with us. If you have any roofing concerns or questions, we talked a bit about roofing today and insurance and the like. And again, I'll tell you, the insurance industry, you haven't seen anything till you see rates in about a year and a half to 2 years. After all of this ferrets out from Texas and Florida, and they start doing new actuarials, oh my goodness, are we going to have rates going up all over? Mark, what's happening? Mark,
hey, how you doing today, Tom?
What's going on with you, man?
Hey, I got one here for you to let your listeners be aware of. Do not deal with Snap Finance.
Snap Finance, are you talking about some kind of loan company?
Yeah, they do.
The one for bad credit?
I think, yeah, that's what it is, because I went in there to get a battery at Big O. It was a $200 battery. I said, okay, I'll just do a quick finance for it. So they practically doubled it and didn't even tell me all these hidden things in there. And I said, well, put the account in close, and they're like, no. And I said, well, you have to. I'm requesting it, and they're like, well, we're going to do this, we're going to do that. I'm like,
what do you mean? What did they do wrong? You said they said no about what?
I said they said, well, how can you use it? They're charging me a lease fee on top of the battery of the purchase, Tom.
Wait, a what fee?
A lease.
A lease fee?
Yes.
For leasing a battery?
That I purchased.
Wait, I've never heard of such a thing. So, let me get this straight, Mark. You went to buy a battery and could not afford it, and did the person at the store recommend Snap?
Yeah, it was like 100 days, pay it off quick. So I thought it was getting ready to pay off. I was going to go in there and pay it, so I called them.
Wait, so you had this.
That's how they get around.
Do you make a monthly payment?
I pay it every 2 weeks, auto pay.
How much?
$20 every 2 weeks.
Okay, and then what? When you went to pay it off, then what?
I was thinking I owed him maybe $60, you know.
So it was $200, and you made payments of $20 every. Right. So $40 a month.
Right.
Okay.
For how many months was it supposed to go?
Well, 5 months would pay it back, just pay it back with no finance.
Yes.
So how long was the term of the loan?
Well, they just said now I owe them another 18 payments.
But wait a minute. Wait. Hold on. How many? The original agreement was for how many months?
12. I mean, not even 12. 6 months is. That's what I thought. Now they're saying
6 times 40. They were going to charge you 6 times 40. They were going to charge you $240.
Right.
Okay, so that would have been like that's
18-ish.
Well, it's for 6 months.
Yeah.
He paid $40 for 6 months, which would have been $80 for a year, and $80 on 200.
10?
No.
Right, but now they say I owe them another 18 payments.
No, it's more. So another 18 payments, that's unconscionable. What are you, 18 payments at $20? That's $360.
Thank you, Tom. And I said...
Wait a minute. When did they tell you this?
I just got off the phone with them, and they wouldn't let me talk to a manager.
Well, Mark, here's what I need to know. I need to see your agreement. Do you have the original finance agreement?
I can fax it to you.
Yeah, we need to get it. I mean, really. You paid...
Absolutely. How
many months have you already paid?
I got the battery right before 4th of July when my battery went out, and I thought it was going to be paid off by the... You know, I had... Pay it off now. I had a few bucks. I was going to try and
No, I understand. But how many payments? And by the way, they say 18 more payments. But what if you pay? What's the payoff amount today?
They're telling me $350. How did a car battery go?
No, it's not $350. That's if they take all the payments. What is the payoff today? They can't charge
today. If I pay them off today, it's about $347.
This is ridiculous.
It is, Tom.
I think he's right. I think what they did was lease him the battery.
It's called rent to own. That's what you're doing. Right. You're renting to own that battery.
Just like Rent-A-Center or whatever.
So you basically did not pay for the battery. But wait a minute. You were renting this battery.
They didn't tell me that, Tom.
Leasing.
Well, yes, they did. If you sign the agreement, I'll bet you it's in there. That's why I want to see it.
Well... They got them all over Big O tires. That's their...
And they got by some of the truth in lending laws when it comes to the high interest rates because of the way they're doing it. They're not coming out and saying, hey, it's 40% interest.
Well, I just feel the consumer, I wanted to pay it off. I had a few bucks, and it's like, wait a minute, where did all those extra $150
Here's what their website says. It says up to 80% approval for bad credit and no credit financing with Snap. Doesn't matter if you've had a bankruptcy, anything. They specialize in mattresses, tires, and wheels.
Right, and they're saying apply right now. It's talking about it, this video.
Go ahead and apply.
How it works, though. Apparently, you rent whatever you buy.
Okay, then I'll say, here's your battery back, and I'll just go to...
No, because you're renting to own.
But I'll give it if they want to break the rent, and they said, no, we won't do that.
Man, it's a bad deal.
It is, and I learned a lesson.
But I still want to see the loan agreement.
Oh,
we
Tom,
really...
email it to you.
Hold on a second. We have a comment here from Robert. Robert, go ahead.
Yeah, I used to have finance. He's not telling you the whole story. You got 100 days to pay it off in full with no interest. If you don't, then everything... goes back and interest.
Oh, wait a minute! But during that 100 days, during that 100 days to pay it off, do you still have to rent or pay a lease payment?
Yeah, they take it out of your banking account automatically.
Okay,
your payment, whatever
so
it is, but
so you lease
100
it.
days paid off with no interest.
So, but
he's
no.
not telling you all that.
Well, hold on, Robert. You're saying no interest, but during that 100 days, if you paid off, let's say you paid it off in 90 days, do you pay just the principal, or have you been paying rental payments?
No, you just pay off whatever the amount was. It costs $10 to apply for SNAP at any business.
So it's $10.
And you got 100 days to pay.
He's not understanding your question.
In 99 days, there's no interest at all.
Okay, but how about those payments you made?
I know there's no interest, but what I'm asking is, hold on, since I have both of them up, that other one might have been answering. So, Robert, what we're asking is this. You have 100 days to pay, I understand that, with no interest. But during that 100 days, do they take any of these so-called lease payments out?
No, I don't know what he's talking about. They take a straight payment out of your checking account, which you authorized a certain amount to be taken out, which is what I did.
Let me try.
$450 set of tires, and I paid them off.
No, if they give me
no interest.
If they give me $100 for a tire, in each month I've got to pay $20 to them. At the end of 3 months, I've paid $60. If I pay that additional $40 before the 100 days, am I done?
Yeah.
See, that sounds impossible. Why wouldn't I use that? I've got great credit.
No, I know.
This sounds like a product I'll use.
No, it doesn't. Robert, I think you might be mistaken a little, too. I don't know, but I'm just saying you might. It doesn't sound like they can make any money.
It's free. If he's telling me I can get free money for 100 days is what he's saying.
What's that, sir?
They're counting on you're not going to pay it off because that's where they're going to make the interest. And
yeah, but what they're
days, you're screwed.
Yeah, but what they're not counting on are people that do have credit. They're not going to exclude you. So why wouldn't people in every single case take free credit?
There's no credit check involved or nothing.
Well, hold on. I need to see the agreement. That'll tell us everything. Mark, send us the agreement, please, and it'll tell us everything. It'll tell us everything, okay? And speaking of loans, approval, reverse mortgage. Reverse mortgages can be controversial. A lot of people don't like them because it eats into equity. Of course it does, because they loan money on your equity. If your house is nearly paid off or you have a lot of equity, if you're 62 or older, you can take out a loan and use the money for anything you want, and it accrues against your home. You can get monthly payments, a lump sum, or a line of credit for emergencies. But it's not for everyone. It's a good retirement tool for some, not for others, depending on your situation. And I only trust Approval Reverse to give you the lowdown and the truth. Joan Sullivan, you can trust them. 303-771-3528, approvalreverse.com. And let's talk about getting your car fixed the right way when it comes to hail, damage, dents, dings, paintless dent repair. You know who I'm going to say? Flexident. They have been with me for many years on my referral list at referralist.com. Multiple locations. They can get you in just a few days and be done in just a few days. Your insurance company will love you because it's less expensive than any other way, and you can't even tell it was there. Absolutely unreportable damage if, in fact, they take out a few dings no one will ever know. That is Flexident, 303-619-6273. Give them a call. They have years of experience, and they'll be here after the job for any kind of warranty work or future work. They're not one of these temporary tents that, you know, these guys fly into town, set up a tent, and leave. 303-619-6273, FlexidentColorado.com.
This report is brought to you by Lowe's.
Travel website is very...
They don't tell you anything on the website.
That's exactly right.
They tell you nothing.
They tell you nothing.
Here it says they offer a 100-day cash payoff, which includes no lease fees and the only cash price of the merchandise plus the initial $39 processing.
Oh,
39. He said 10.
10, here's the other thing.
Okay,
But you have to go to a SNAP merchant.
Right.
So on the other end of it, they're padding that side.
Mark, $39 though, right?
Yeah, but you have to listen to what I'm saying.
I know they are. 39 plus. 39 for 100 days. So no matter what it is, the amount, at some point, let's take, I don't know up to how much they do.
Up to $3,000.
Okay, so at $3,039, if you figure that's 100 days, but if you do 100 days, so 39.95, right, divided by 100 is 39 cent. Let's say a 40 cent per diem. It's a 40 cent per diem. So 40 cents at some point, 40 cents times 365 would be 146 for the year. Now, the worst case scenario then would be for them $3,000, and it's 146. So I wonder what the percentage. That's what I'm trying to figure out. Well, it would be 146. Yeah, 00.
They do say they offer a 100-day cash buyout plan to buy out your lease.
Okay, worst case scenario for them is 4.8%.
That's all I got.
No, that's not true.
Yes, it is.
Did you do that in the 100 days, or did you extrapolate that for a full year?
For 100 days. No matter what, it's 4.8 because it's per diem. So if somebody took out $3,000 for 99 days and paid them off, that the worst case scenario,
if they paid them off in 100 days,
you're paying 4.8%.
Yeah. But here's the part that really sucks, though. You have to use just their vendors.
Right.
Right, but why?
Well, I'm guessing their vendors probably pay them on that side, too.
No, what sucks is he bought a $200 battery and he still's got to pay $39.
Well, that sucks, too. Actually, no. In his case, he's got to pay $350.
Well,
he went over 100 days.
No, if he bought July 4th, it's not over 100 days. July, August.
He said he called today and his payoff was $350.
Well, then 100 days isn't accurate there because he hasn't went over 100 days if he did it by July 4th. July, August, September, October 4th is going to be 100 days. Or
hi, Tom Martino, your troubleshooter.
The SNAP financing is $39.95 up to $3,000 and 100 days. So if you take out the max $3,000 and pay it off in 99 days, you've already paid the $39.95, but no other payments are due. So that would be 4.8%. So the best rate you'll ever pay with them is 4.8%. And then after that, it goes up from there. But if it's after 100 days, I shudder to think what it is.
Well, it's even worse than that if you look at it this way. He bought a $200 battery and paid $39. Extrapolate that, his interest rate's more like 20, 40% or whatever.
You're right. So the $39.95 is no matter what you buy. So that's where it gets weird, right? So let's talk to David. David?
Hey, Tommy, I got a question for you.
Yeah.
If you had good credit, would you deal with these shysters and give them all your personal, your social data, all that stuff?
No, not if it's truly not free. He was saying, the one guy was saying it's totally free for 100 days.
Mark made it seem like he'd take advantage of that free money that they were about to give
If it was totally free, there might be some wisdom to that, but it isn't. It's $39.95. But what this other guy was saying is, if you pay it off in 100 days, you don't have to pay a dime to anyone. If that was the case, money is expensive. Well, it's not that expensive, but it is expensive. If you can keep your cash for 99 days, whereas you would pay for something, why wouldn't you use it? But you're saying, David, you wouldn't want to give them all your personal information.
Well, look what they're experiencing. Look what they're experiencing out there. I mean, who knows how that's going to come back to bite you in the later.
You know what's weird is it looks like really they just do tires, wheels, and mattresses, and you have to go to a certain place and spend the money. It's not like they send you the money and you can go out and shop anywhere. You got to use their vendors. It's kind of odd.
You know, batteries and tires are you need them. You know what I'm saying? When you need them, you need them.
That's true, man. You're absolutely right. You don't have a battery, you don't have tires, you can't get to work.
Yep.
So would you use it?
No way, not at all. Not at all.
You know what though, I will
deal with Guido on the corner. I think he has better principles and morals than this outfit does.
Man, I'll tell you, they are probably making a ton of money. You know, financing, consumer financing, is something that people are going to need. I mean, when it comes to a furnace, and water heaters even. Who can afford to put out that much cash when they need it?
It's I don't even know how to put this. It's not a bad business plan. a lot of people say, hey, I can pay that back in 39 bucks, but what they're not realizing is they go that one day over, man. It's crazy. Remember when Home Depot and Lowe's, they used to do the deal, 24 months, no interest, no payments. You'd buy a refrigerator for $2,000. You'd go 1 or 2 days over, and what would happen, Tom? Every bit of interest for 2 years would kick in, and your bill goes from $2,000 to $3,500. Uncle Sam stepped in and took care of that.
Yeah, that was terrible, terrible. And with credit cards, I mean, if you ever extrapolate what you're paying with a credit card, it's ridiculous because you're paying, you know, there used to be, what, 60 years if you pay minimum payment. It would take you 60 years to pay off a set of tires. I mean, it's ridiculous.
Hey, Dave, do you guys ever get people that need a roof that's not insurance like we talked about in the first hour? And if so, how do you guys offer financing?
We have a company that we can recommend, but I don't know that we've ever used anyone.
Well, all consumer financing is going to be dreadfully expensive. Dreadfully expensive. It is. Right?
Yeah.
I mean, that's all. I mean, they're taking a giant risk because they can't repossess it. They can't take it back. There is no standard security agreement. With a car, there's a security agreement. Wherever you have security involved, you're going to have better rates than when you don't have security. It's ridiculous. Oh, and never mind. I thought line 1 was ringing. I don't know if we have time to take a call or not, but...
You know, something with roofs and stuff with the house, though, the one thing they'll always have going for them is they can put a lien on a house if they don't get paid.
David has one more comment, I guess. Go ahead, David.
Yeah, so what's to prevent them from pretending they didn't get your final payment at the last minute?
Do you know what?
We don't have that.
We have had that problem. We've had that problem more than once, where someone made a payment and they said they didn't, and it's a funny thing you bring that up. That is another thing that happens. I'm going to tell you another sneaky thing when it comes to credit. Listen to this one. Do you know that 0% balance until for the first 30 days? And then it goes up? So people would transfer all of their things over, or was it first 6 months? Whatever it was 0%. I don't think it was just 30 days, but that 0% for 6 months.
Like when you write a check or a balance transfer.
People did all their balances transfers, and then they said, I'm going to get it paid within 6 months. Okay? But they still have to make monthly payments, right? Do you know what was happening? Some of these credit card companies that offered this 0% for 6 months, they would mark you late by a couple days here and there. So when you try to reopen a credit somewhere else to transfer because you wanted to do another 0% transfer, the people that were playing that game, they could not transfer in the first 6 months. And here's the problem. You could not dispute it and get it corrected soon enough
within the time
to get your credit up to where you could transfer it again, because those transfers are only for people with good credit, and those people that were paying that playing that game were stung by it. Anyway, we're done, and I want to thank Petrali Roofing for being here. They're out of Colorado Springs at 719-375-8773, and you can also, of course, reach them at referralist.com, along with Excel Roofing, of course, in Denver at 303-761-6400. Jay wasn't able to make it, but remember, folks, save all your problems for me.
You think everyone's watching the show? Oh, man, it was fun.
Are you guys going to go look at that one?